Who's using SMA weapons still? What the fuck?
I want this one today.
Yeah. Why do you actually need flashlights? If
Flashlights.
It's just in case you need it. It's just in case you need it. You can customize it if you want. It's just there in case people need it.
Okay, why is it laughing?
Because you said
Because-
flashlight weirdly, and
Because they're in.
there's your
Broken.
And this is funny
I have a chopper, I fly faster than you.
because there's a type of sex
dear.
device called a flashlight, and you sounded a lot
I
like
touch
that
you
when
in
you said it.
inappropriate.
Considering we're already running late, people start moving towards the hangar, please.
Right.
Hangar.
Jesus Christ, guys. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, they're juvenile.
Mature.
You might want to go get the base light up below, Bear,
What the
before
fuck?
you run in with
Oh,
your
yeah.
Alright, to the hangar.
Before he gets the entire community up.
Piper,
That's me.
why does the base loader have grenades?
I don't know, this is the default loadout from the other mission as well, so... It's you know... just in
Remember
case-
what happened last time?
Yeah, but that's because Clanky was a silly goof.
Standard chair.
I'm glad, like, people listen to the app, like, everyone.
Mr. Estonius.
G'day.
Hey, what's up, Royland?
Hey,
Wait, where is
I
Kalenka?
am sick as fuck, but...
Roland, you're
Yeah, you
dying,
sound
what the
like
fuck?
that.
You're not the only one. People have been sick all day.
Hey, yeah, I'm kinda dying, but I'll make it.
Can we have another medic? I don't want to get contaminated.
Yeah, don't worry,
It's
I'll
fine,
be wearing
everyone
gloves.
already has the AIDS if they've been listening,
On
so...
your mouth?
Yeah, gloves on my mouth.
Well, there is like a thing you put above the mouth before you start doing the whatever.
Yeah, it's called the CPR mask.
I love you too, Eclipse.
That's the name of it.
Why are you, like, weirdly looking up in the air? What the fuck is wrong with your neck?
I don't know. Take a screenshot. I don't know what I look like.
By the way, Mr. Major.
Du høres
Nå,
ut som en
ok.
harry dame som har røyka i 40 år.
Fuck deg, da.
They're talking in the made-up
Nærmere
language
60.
again.
Det høres jo helt fint ut. Og
Drittsekk.
og liksom Sverigeturer og hytta og bobil og
Ja, men Elise, hvor mange katter har du? Börjar bli så här crazy cat lady.
Speak English, you asshole.
That's so good. Jävla
The hot micing is intense.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, who's watching
All right, let's quit with the Scandinavian and get back to work. Goal!
Cool?
Recruit T. Goring
Hello.
is watching soccer, or
Not soccer.
Well, it's something.
It's something noisy.
That's what you look like currently, Eclipse, but it's even worse now.
Alright, hey everybody. How's it going? My name is Mac, and I'll be taking this class in after. Hey,
Hi, Mac.
welcome
Hi,
to
Mr. Mac.
week 1 of on rotation after the last campaign and de-stress mission. So today I'll be taking the usual guys, the ODA. any recruits, that would be Smith and Goring. You'll be sticking around with Kalenki and Thornwood. Bless you. Thornwood's just having some tech issues or network issues. Not sure which. So, Kalenki, are you here?
He's just connecting. If you.
Oh yeah, son of a bitch. Okay, in that case, Paldanius, can you gather up your ODA and head to the front of the hangar, please? I'll explain to you guys what we're doing in a second.
Alright. Everyone who's in my ODA, follow me.
Any SAW members also, Mike, could you get them up? Oh, good. Alright.
I burn in the sunlight.
Alright.
Vampire Fox over there as well.
I lost it.
Oh, there you go. Goring and Smith, if you just wait here for Kalenki, I'll get him to get you guys to go somewhere.
No, I can medical you from here, Paldanius. I have quite a reach, apparently.
Where the fuck is Chris?
Jack?
I think he's coming.
Yeah, that cheap. Okay, so if you guys, Paldanius, you see the firing range, the one over there?
Hi.
You get your guys to head over to that platform and wait for me there, please. I'm just going to inform Kalenki what to do quickly with the recruits, and I'll be over in just 2 seconds.
Alright, can we bring gear, or are we going...
Arsenal's over there, so I'll explain in a minute.
Alright. Alright, you guys on me?
Let's go, well, yeah, let's see in a bit.
Alright. That's fine then. Tapping me like that and you might get yourself late tonight.
What are you talking about? I'm not doing anything.
Uh-huh, okay, I see how it is. Surprise butt sex. Incoming.
What the fuck happened to that container?
It flips every time we load in.
You guys need to ask for permission to actually get on top here, so...
play
First
for
Lieutenant
big boys.
Paldanius, can I, Master
Paldanius,
Sergeant
First Imperator, may I come up on the
please
platform?
enter the almighty platform?
Now there is a rank hierarchy, of course, so that'll be Piper will address me first. I'm just kidding, get up here, Jesus Christ.
Oh, thou magical king of the hill.
Where's Alve Imperator?
Hey,
Let's get a line going, facing south. We'll look at the sea until the captain arrives.
feel like execution right now.
I have no idea.
You should be familiar with this.
Or executions, or...
Oh my god. Permission to leave?
Permission to kill Roland?
Permission...
Granted. He
Yes.
said
it. Permission, yes.
Permission, yes.
There were too many fucking questions, god damn it. Alright.
For some reason, Estonius is not, oh, cause, wait. Oh, cause he's a
Get in the
recruit.
group.
No, is he? No, he's not even a recruit.
I'm in the wrong group.
Yeah, he chose from the other thing, I guess.
There we go.
Thing.
The other thing.
Traitor.
Not anymore.
How's it going, Eclipse? Doing anything interesting in work at the
Not
moment?
very on comms.
Doobly-doo.
You know, it's
No.
no question.
Yeah, but it's fun, right? Fun.
I'm rewriting our software, so...
Are you still doing the TV things, or you
Yeah.
finished that?
Where
Yeah.
the fuck is that German cunt?
Chris.
He's
Whoa,
having
shock.
a German sparkle party.
I told
Okay.
him.
Hey everybody.
I
Hey,
told him to
Oh, it's a
get
speaky
online,
ghost.
goddammit.
permission to turn away from south.
Permission,
Permission
yes, granted.
Thank you.
Alright, so, we're gonna do 3 things in this training, home rotation operation here. We're going to begin with a bit of basic AT, which is going to be led by Cadius. It's just going to be simple. It's just going to pretty much check that everyone knows how to operate fire and hit a target with the AT. Whilst that's going on, I'm going to take Paldanius and any of your fire team leaders and Saw for a quick briefing about some training to do with commander type stuff. Although it looks like your ODA is fairly small today, so the AT training shouldn't take very long. After which, we will be going over, which is going to be made more difficult given the numbers that we have. We'll be going over tight and slow-paced urban movement. After that, we'll be going into a simple FTX, which I'll brief afterwards. Okay? So, for the AT training, as I said, Cadius will be doing it. Cadius, I want you just to pair people up. Everybody who's not in a command spot, i.e. Fireteam, EXO, or Paldanius himself, will go to the arsenal and go to the public loadouts and just grab a light AT loadout. Cadius, you pretty much drill them on how to hit the, call-outs.
Broadside of a barn.
Getting the distance, etc., etc., okay? Good to handle that?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, then if you are not in a command position in ODA 1, then form up with Cadius and you guys can begin. If you are a command position, then on me and we'll move somewhere a little quieter than the firing range. Okay?
Oh, actually, that reminds me, I need earplugs in then as well. Or we need to load in a kit with earplugs.
Yeah, you might want to grab some of those.
Oh,
just get it.
That kit will come with earplugs, actually. I forget.
Cool. Alright, Cadius, over to you with these guys then, and we'll rejoin you in a sec.
Bitte schön.
Right, we just need to go and pick up Saw, and then we're good.
Pick up Saw, okay.
Yeah, because this is relevant to
So
them as
pairing
well.
up is quite easy today. So Eclipser and Estonius, and then Baelish and Roland are. That's the pairs, and quite simply, I'll just want everyone to grab a AT kit out of the boxy box, and then we'll head straight to
Oxybox, what?
the boxy box.
Boxy box.
It's Norwegian for crate.
Yeah.
From Boxen.
Light AR loadout, yeah.
Like JC.
The LAC loadout. Light anti-tank loadout.
Yeah. Light
Remember to
AR.
put your earplugs in.
No, light. Yeah,
LAT,
it says
okay,
LAT, yeah. Light anti-tank, yeah, and then earplugs in for the people who does.
I have them, yes I do.
And quickly, I'll just borrow Baelish. So Roland, you're gonna be unpaired right now. Just me and Baelish are gonna quickly do one show of how to actual do it. So Baelish, if you pull up to the the barrier up ahead, and bring out your launcher.
Boom, boom.
Bring out the So what you see now, Baelish has loaded his launcher. You have to do that every time you oh, you guys are afraid? You guys can come a bit closer. It's not gonna fire it yet. I hope.
Are you sure?
Every time you bring it out, you need to reload it. It's just to prepare the actual launcher itself. And then Baelish is gonna start aiming towards his target. Now, before Baelish is ever gonna fire that one, or fire the launcher itself, he's gonna make sure that the range is correct. He's gonna do that by the paired guy. So I'm not sure, Baelish, what are you currently looking at?
250 meters.
You're looking at 250 meters.
Yep.
Alright, so you're looking at the LAV that is up ahead.
Yep. Direct line.
So he's gonna zero in his launcher at this point, and then if he wants to take the shot by standing up or kneeing, that's fine. But he cannot prone. You can't fire a launcher in prone. You could do that in real life, but it's not really recommended. But he's the actual
You can actually by back blast can hurt your legs.
Yeah.
If you fire from prone position.
From a prone position, yeah. So you have to. There's a special trick to do that in real life. It's not possible to do that. Just scratch it entirely. So he's gonna call out for backblast clear, and before he does that, would it be clear right now?
No.
Nope.
Why?
You're
You're
gonna
in it.
die.
Okay. Would it be clear now?
No.
Nope.
Would it be clear now?
No.
Maybe.
Would it be clear?
No.
No? Okay. So everyone understands the why it's not clear, right?
Yeah.
Would
You're
it
in
be
the
clear
way.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. What about now?
Nope.
No.
That's quite simple. All right, so if you go through the full procedure, Baelish.
Yep. Ready to fire. Back blast clear.
Back blast not clear.
Back blast clear.
Back blast not clear. And then
Back
you
blast
clear the
clear.
back blast. So
Clear,
if everyone.
yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, we usually just
Yeah.
Wait
Yeah.
for confirmation.
And then back blast clear, and then you'll fire.
Yep. Poof, baboosh, it's blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's blown up, and that's basically it. And then you can basically throw it on the ground. It's not usable anymore. You can't reload it. It's one disposable tube. That's how simple it is. You fire, you miss, you hit, whatever happens, you
Well,
forget about it.
Preferably hit. Yeah.
Preferably hit. Alright, so you can pair back up, and then we'll just do a simple... We'll do a simple hit now, and then we'll just fire at not the LAVs this time, and then we'll just fire into the open area, and then we can hit something afterwards, alright? So just pair up.
Alright. Okay.
Are you right?
And then,
You wanna do
sure,
first?
Estonians, you guys can do it. as
Yeah,
well.
sure. No, not that weapon.
That's your tiny gun, Estonius.
Right.
So, are we shooting this thing now?
Yeah, you're allowed to fire it.
Alright. Back blast clear.
You need to reload the thing first.
Okay.
Back blast clear.
Okay, back
There you
blast
go.
clear, yeah.
Now you can set range.
Ready.
Firing. 1, 2, 3, firing! Boom, boom.
Okay, back blast clear.
Back blast clear.
Back blast clear.
I think the
Akbar.
correct firing thing though would be clear back blast.
Yeah.
And back blast
Yeah,
clear.
but it's like an order, and I actually don't see any reason to do this because
Yep.
when you hear box clear, you should actually look if you are in line. It's your life.
Alright, so
Yeah. Ready to fire. Clear black blast.
BTR
Clear.
Firing.
Clear
Miss.
back blast.
Back blast clear.
I think that was everyone.
Yeah.
You are
Yes,
correct.
we can
So-
press buttons. Yes.
Alright, so just a quick thing I saw everyone do is, let me just get my rifle away because it's irritating. Is some people do like to, after the clarification that the black blast has been cleared, they do a warning system. So it's either going to be firing and then 1, 2, 3, or just firing, it's fine. Or
Okay.
someone says back blast, black blast, and then fires the gun, because you sadly never know if Private Estonius did not hear Roland say back blast clear, and then Estonius just walks around the corner, and then just, while Baelish is at the same time firing, and just blast Estonius to pieces. I'm sure Roland would be really happy because she can now touch someone again.
Hey.
But I'm quite sure also your fire team leader is going to be quite disappointed at that point.
Nah, AT
No.
training and medic training in one go.
Yeah, right? So now we're going to try to actually hit something. I don't want the people who are actually going to fire first. This time I want to switch it around. So Eclipser, you're going to fire first, and then Roland, you're going to fire first. And I want you to hit the furthest away LAVs.
Process swing. You mean like behind the barrier?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So you have you basically have a couple of sets, right? So you have the one that is really far, and then you have the middle far, and then you have
Yeah.
the close. I want
Yeah.
you to hit the close one, alright? So you'll just go through.
Wait, the close one?
The oh, the mid one.
Middle ones.
Yeah, the middle ones. I mean.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter.
400 meters.
Yeah. The one on the right is 450.
So you guys are set,
Yep.
and then you guys can go ahead.
Yeah, you can. Do you know how to range with those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
422.
Are we good to fire?
You're
Those
good to
are
fire
some
whenever
magnetic
Baelish tells you
brakes.
you're good to fire.
Yeah, but are we
Jesus
good to like start the
Yeah.
exercise?
Good to
Backblast
fire.
is not clear. Friendly's coming.
Not clear. Yeah.
Copy that.
No, that's a no-no.
Not clear, not clear.
Alright, let's change into our proper gear.
I will once they've done their firing.
Alright.
Okay,
so you're
back
also
clear.
running-
Clear.
Okay,
Back
continue
block
the
clear.
exercise.
Clear black pass.
Yeah.
Clear
Backblast clear.
backblast.
Back
Firing.
Clear.
That overshot.
Yeah, that overshot. We have
Slightly, yeah.
one too short and one too long. So it's not entirely always up to hitting, but it's always like a 99% preferable that you actually hit the target because you're actually gonna get stuck. So
Yep.
what I want now is I want Estonius and I want Baelish to do the next one, and I want you to try to hit the exact same target.
I'm gonna get up
considering-
here so I don't get hit by
Which
backlash.
target?
That's gonna be the middle set of targets. The two LAVs in the open behind the barriers.
Yeah.
Those two.
The left or the right?
You
One
hit
of
whichever you
them
want.
on four.
I was shooting on the left one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Left one.
Sure.
It was 405 meters.
Clear, Backblast.
Backblast clear.
Come on, where the hell is my range?
Firing. 1, 2.
You need to reload the thing again first.
Yeah.
Firing.
Okay, I got hit.
Yeah, as I say, so it's moving forward from that. But
I can't say if I hit.
You hit me.
It was a good hit.
Okay.
Okay.
It didn't happen.
What do you mean it
Let's
didn't
see,
happen?
there we go.
You hit it, but nothing happened.
Backblast clear.
Yeah, it's because they indestructible.
clear.
Back blast is clear.
Fire. No,
Wait.
clear.
Baelish move forward. Clear.
Clear.
Okay, firing in 3, 2, 1.
Over.
Just over.
Shit.
Overshot.
Alright, so
It
let's
was
do
overshot.
one more
Piper
segment.
wants,
Let's try
extra
one more
ATF,
time,
yeah.
and this time Roland, and then Eclipser again. So Eclipser, if you haven't reloaded yet, go ahead and do it again.
Someone wanna fix
Guys.
Estonius?
I'm fixing myself.
Listen up. If you're working on teams or in teams, you basically just can call, in short, back clear, clear, fire, so that you can actually, you don't have to make the whole procedure in field. Just make sure that the backblast is, clear. Make it as simple and as quick as possible if you're in a stress situation. You don't have to pull this maneuver every single time, as Cadius has instructed right now. Although keep it to real right now, but do remember to shorten it once you're actually out in the field.
Copy that.
Or just shout back. Well.
It's really dependent on what the situation is, because you might have an LAV right outside your building, or you might have an LAV 2 clicks away. So it's really depending on what kind of procedure you could actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But as I said, I emphasized on the stressy situations where you literally have to pull out the AT and actually, well, you have less than 30 seconds to actually prepare. So getting that shot in as quickly as possible and as accurately as possible is, of course, again, an emphasis. But
How do you open the scope thingy again?
Press
What
R.
button?
R. You already opened it.
No.
The one next to numlock, the alternate fire key. It's the same one you use for the scopes normally.
yeah, so
Thank
switching between the codes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so
can we...
range is hot, and then do your procedures.
Okay, Eclipser...
Backblast.
Backblast clear.
Clear.
You're ready to fire.
Firing.
Yes, good hit.
Clear backblast.
Backblast clear.
Firing.
Just over. Give me a target, Caddy.
I'll give you target. I'll give you bearing.
Wait,
Okay.
Wait, man.
261.
I wanted to read what is written on it.
Alright.
514
You ready?
meters
Reloading.
away.
Yeah. Just gonna.
What? Very slow.
Okay.
Target is in the open. There's a big
Medium
tree
speed
right
plus.
behind them.
Okay. Is backblast clear?
Backblast is clear.
You also on whisper.
Okay.
Alright, wait, give me a second.
Firing
I'll
in
come down to you.
3, 2.
So target
one. Wait.
is from your
I'm gonna have to
position,
throw.
bearing
Okay, firing
262,
backblast clear.
Clear.
540 meters
Firing
away.
in three,
Target is
two,
in the
one.
open. Three behind it. Do you have eyes on the target?
I do.
Over.
I only have a maximum range of 400 meters.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
improvise.
I was the hit.
Okay. You can really shoot over a target at 300 anyway, but you know. Still disposable. Yeah, okay.
Backblast is clear.
Okay, firing. Oh,
Backblast.
Not clear.
not clear.
Hold backblast.
I mean, should you just run and tell me when it's clear, right?
Yeah.
If it's 500, then I guess there maybe.
I'm sure you can hit it because I've seen you done it 100 times.
84's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, 84 is hard.
Rocket.
Over.
Just over it. Wasn't too bad.
Clear back.
Ooh, clear.
Clear.
Firing.
He's cheating though, because he's using us.
Yeah. Alright, but I think everyone understands the basic principle about clearing the backblast and why we're doing it, right?
Yep.
And everyone understands the basic of actually steering into the target. I mean, he had a
Did
couple
you
of
guys
hits.
demonstrate what will happen if you get hit by backblast?
I think we demonstrated that a couple of weeks ago.
Got hit by
Yeah.
backblast.
Yeah, my left leg got fucked up.
How?
Because he was
How-
behind your one slightly. I told him to
Clear
move forward.
backblast.
Roland,
Backblast is clear.
Why
Yeah.
was behind
stitch
me?
him up.
Firing.
I'm okay.
You need to take a medikit. Nice.
Hey, they actually blew it up. Huh, strange.
Yeah, if you hit. I mean, I'm gonna take one.
I totally hit with one.
So, are we gonna complete like this exercise for...
Stand still, Samus.
No, I doubt it.
Okay.
Good shit.
I wanna try the one on the left closest.
There you go.
the one behind
Okay.
barrier?
As good as that is.
We're close enough, so... Cool. Backpack is not clear. Clear backpack. Backpack is clear.
Rocket.
Let's wrap it up.
Aldanius,
Yeah.
anyone who's finished, tell them to grab their usual loadouts for their slot, okay?
Your what?
Usual
their
loadouts for the
usual
slot.
loadouts.
Okay. Everyone is done.
Everyone
Grab
is done.
your usual loadouts.
God, there's a lot of sick people today, isn't there?
I got
Oh,
it as well.
yeah.
The lurgy.
Ugh, I had it last week.
Yeah, the
Or maybe the
internet
week
AIDS
before.
is going on apparently.
He's so much spit, Joey.
Internet age.
Yeah, that's what Piper
That's on
does.
all forums. Maybe. Yeah, it's spread on the Discord as well.
What did you say?
Yep. Apparently, I had unprotected Discord.
Yo, Piper, is
You
it?
have,
Is it?
you need to go to a standard rifleman loadout, load it,
Yeah,
and then edit it to how you want. Because your current loadout, you've still got SMA installed, and you're using an SMA rifle.
Okay.
You need to read the information.
Well,
we're going
okay.
updates and stuff.
We're going to be doing a tight
There's so
scenario first.
Not an information.
The
information's
non-combat
important.
scenario, but weapons will be required for specters and such. We're going to be heading to the town of Gravia, which is just north of the airfield here. So we'll head out, get a vehicle, move from there.
Roger.
We'll
You're
just
gonna
get a
need,
truck and carry
for
everybody in
rifle,
it.
you'll need a
Should be
scope.
fine.
There's a night driver.
Yeah, go ahead.
Find it first.
It should have been with the standard loadout.
Bill, if you want to be driver.
No.
Alright, since
What do I have here?
where are we heading with for the truck?
Gravia.
Alright, but where's the truck?
They're back
Why
at the
don't I
base.
have a gun?
Load the default standard. There should be one called Rifleman in default.
Alright.
Yeah,
Piper,
In default loadouts.
Captain Sprags.
Yeah,
Loadout,
so loadout
Steve.
called default.
Do you want
and
to
then
follow
there
me
should be
then?
one called Rifleman.
That's some
Yeah, we'll
nice
go
white
you, that's fine, yeah.
shades, Baldenius.
Come in.
What?
That's some white shades you got there.
Pick the
I know.
rifle, flick it, and then
Yeah,
There's
white
no
white.
texture on them.
But it doesn't have the
I don't?
main rifle.
Nope.
Yep.
Okay, well you haven't installed the last two mod updates then.
Jesus Christ.
So that's on you because those have been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
The Armising said that I've updated all the
Well,
mods.
Yeah, those
You're
are
gonna need to
good
back out and
Baldenius.
load local mods again, and then you should have the NI Arms one.
You just didn't load them into your game.
Yeah, you just need to load them. So go how you normally do from local files, load it, and then they should be called NI Arsenal. There should be 2 of them.
3 or 4.
For the NI, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, yeah, for NI there. That's me being dopey.
Yeah.
'Cause I forgot we had to do the M61 as well.
Yeah.
Alright, once you got everything sorted out, start walking towards the main hangar. Piper, if you want to follow me and Captain Sprags,
Isn't it
since we're
easier
officers,
to
we
just
will take
add
the
the
truck back.
right-
Taking RHS, HK instead.
We're going where?
The
Oh,
hangar.
hangar.
And I'm not walking there.
Yeah, right.
There's somebody over there.
Yeah.
Channel 50, loud and clear.
This Baldenius checking in on radio frequency 50. Did you hear that? I need a whiskey.
Who the fuck's over
You
there?
need to lighten up.
But is it Estonius?
It's Estonius and Cadius.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Piper.
favorite.
Oh, no, Piper's over there.
No, Piper is behind us.
Yeah.
I don't have a radio. Short range, that is.
I think
Yeah,
it's more
apparently it's been
problems.
removed.
Oh, good.
Okay, where is so not very much of us here?
Don't know.
I mean, it's like
hit the
official
clubs
day
because I'm
and all
going to
that.
shoot myself.
Yeah, the turnout's not great, is it?
Yes, I don't understand why.
Gonna make this training a little bit harder. I'll have to clear some AI out of the AO as well.
I need to test something for science quickly.
Rossen put in a TPR today.
He's
Or Loa. Who else are we
Alright,
missing?
everybody here?
Hopefully.
That's everyone.
Alright, great. Okay, so we're going to be heading to the town of Gravia. It's just north of where we are now. I'll explain what we're doing when we get there. There's directions on the map, except for one arrow that I fucked up and placed in completely the wrong area. So just get designated driver, everyone else can pile into the back.
Alright, Baelish, you're driving.
Yes, of course, that's because I don't want to drive. Okay.
That's how it works, Baelish.
Where is it?
You can read
The
your
truck
mind.
is towards the northeast.
Drew, line. Please.
Alright. There's your line.
What radio are we gonna be on?
Are those on global? Yes, they are.
110
Just follow
if you're
once you get to the main road.
standard infantry boys.
Yeah, the arrows are all global.
Eclipse, put a goddamn magazine in your rifle for when we're heading out.
Okay, can I move?
No. Fine.
Everybody's in.
Is everyone on short range radio? Wait, what could we go on? Mac?
110 for short
yeah,
range.
110.
Just get everybody on the same one, to be honest, because there's not that many of you.
Alright, 110.
Viper, get everyone on 110.
Alright,
Radio check 110.
5.
Check.
Lima Charlie. North, Baelish, that was the weirdest turn I've ever seen.
It's Russian.
I don't
We're
want
heading
to-
north, south.
I'm moving by the line.
Yeah, but the line goes north, not south.
Is this gonna be like on Russia's like worst dash cam footage or something?
Oh shit, yes. You're right.
Baelish, the route has arrows, so if you see an arrow at turning, just take it.
Yeah, it's okay. I got it.
There's also a oh, what channel is that?
Jesus,
Yeah, there's also
look
like
at me
a boxed
quickly.
area when we reach the
What?
area to dismount. So just park up someone when we reach that boxed area. You'll see
What?
when we get there.
What did I do now?
Eye shade or eyeliner.
Fuck, I'll send it to you.
Keep in
We
mind-
need mirrors in this game.
I actually don't know how to do this.
That's good to get practice in. The right turn here.
You just look slightly terrifying.
God, whoever's breathing, please stop it.
That's astonished.
Sorry.
Don't breathe.
Sorry for
Never breathe.
Son of a bitch. I can only see Rossen put in a TPR. I don't see anyone else who did.
I mean, there are a lot of people who have problems with their internet,
Yeah. Weird.
and a lot of people that really just don't care.
Yeah, well,
Oops.
they will care.
That's what happens when I put a mag in my gun.
Take a right up here,
You should put the safety on.
and then there's
Yeah.
followed by a left.
No, I had it on actually. That's weird.
The
Have
right
you ever
turn.
tried like heard the thing where you don't try the safety even when you put it on? Like you don't just keep clicking the
Followed
fucking
by,
trigger.
left. and then after which
If you
is
pull
followed
hard
by another
enough,
right.
you can break the actual safety.
He has
so
a
that-
point. It's like you don't just point your gun at Cadius and then just don't worry, mate. I got the fucking safety on.
Yeah. Well, I don't do that normally.
Are we driving like
On the road, just keep on going.
On
No,
the road?
no.
Keep on going.
Right here, Jesus Christ!
right.
Don't you see the line? Don't you see the arrow?
Yes, I see the road, but you said on the road, keep on going.
Yeah, I meant this road, because you were basically just turning in, and I was like, yeah, continue on this road.
I mean, it's better than Eclipse driving.
This is true.
Well, we didn't actually crash or anything.
Shut your fucking yaps back there.
As understand, we are going second left, right?
I mean, I have some good footage of Thaddeus driving.
No. Or, wait. Mac.
Yeah.
Are we going...
Was there an arrow?
No.
Then keep going.
No, but he turned left onto the,
Back on the main MSR, Baelish. There was no arrow.
Okay.
actually going? This is just really confusing, Mac. I think we're heading back to the start zone, yeah? To the box area, right? Alright, make a U-turn, Baelish. Jesus fucking Christ. Mac, next time you place an arrow, place it right.
Pointing to the road going on, I don't know how it can be any more right than that.
I mean, it's
pointing the other way around.
Oh, really? Oh, for me on my map it's pointing downwards. Shit. Okay, that explains a lot.
Take a right here, Baelish.
Yeah, okay, well, that explains it. There's obviously some fuck up with the arrows, because for me they're pointing downwards. That's really weird.
Alright, so once we get to the box area, just put the truck to the side. Alright, take it to the left here. Once the truck is halted, everyone disembark.
Copy that.
Disembark.
You can line up roadside in front of this garage here. There's no enemies, don't worry about that.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about that. The arrows on my game are all pointing in the correct direction.
Alright,
so
take it
that
by this wall.
probably explains
right
that fuck up.
Over here. Line up by the wall.
Okay. 1 mile. Okay, so this exercise is going to take place between the two signs of Gravia. So you'll notice there's one there, and there's one over that way somewhere outside the other part of the town. Basically, we're going to systematically move down the town. I was kind of hoping you'd have 2 full fire teams, but we'll just have to get a split and move less men. But pretty much we're going to be working on slow and tight movement. That means checking every corner and everything like that, and working on positions, where you cover, what your sectors are, and how you're going to format yourselves, okay? Saw are overhead, but they're just doing exercises, so ignore them. So first things first, Haldanius, I need you to split your guys into 2 even fire teams. Yourself and Piper can join a side for now as well.
Alright.
Don't worry about rolls or anything, just split evenly.
Piper, Cadius, do you want to be fire team leads?
Yeah, I can do.
Ah, sure.
Alright. Baelish, Piper, Rolling Piper.
Doing the side colors first.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'll just roll with Cadius, Clipser, and Astonius, and Baelish, Piper, and Roland, you go as one.
Yep.
And go blue, my team.
Cool. I'm just gonna join you guys and stay as white so I can see the things. Hold still for a second.
you want us to be on 2 different types of radio frequencies, Captain?
No, it's fine. Just stay as one. That way you can communicate together, because you're going to want to sort of communicate together to get this balance done. So the first things first is, moving in an urban terrain, you need to make sure, as you all well know, that your sectors and your observation skills are absolutely on point. There's verticality, and there's alleyways, buildings, windows, doorways, everything you need to watch out for. So making sure that you've got your sector and you have full trust in your teammates next to you to have their sector is of utmost importance. As I said before, this is going to be focusing more on, if you're moving through a town in a staggered column, on tight, slow, and double-checking motion. That means you're going to be checking every corner, window, alleyway, street crossing, etc., etc. The best way to go about doing this is just to get you guys in it. So if you want to assign whichever side of the road to red and blue, we're heading south, bear in mind.
Okay,
Alright.
right.
Blue on the left then.
Cool, so if you just want to form into a standard staggered column for now, you don't have to have such high spacing, just keep it fairly tight. Cool. Hopefully you can all still hear me.
Yeah.
So, given that we're in the urban environment, the first things first...
radio. Right, because you could use that as well.
I can do, actually, yeah. It might come across a bit annoying. You're on 110, right?
Yeah, 110.
Alright, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. So first things first, if you're moving in urban terrain in a staggered column, you don't necessarily have to stick to the lines of the road. You can push out to the nearest sort of hard cover on your right or left. So if we get you guys to do that now, so that'll be red moving slightly to the right on the wall, and blue moving to left on their wall there. Cool. So the number one rule about this whole system is being dynamic. That means just because your position in the queue, say, now is at the back or in the middle, that doesn't mean you'll stay like it. The whole point of this is that it's kind of like a rolling movement. So whoever's second now will eventually be first, and so on and so forth. For this aspect, the staggered column will move a little bit tighter than you usually would if moving down a road, i.e. the two lines opposite each other will be less staggered, still slightly though, and everyone behind will be a little bit tighter as you would if you were in open terrain. Not so tight that if one gets blasted you're all dead, but close enough that you can hear each other and you can be in good communication and be ready to stack up at any given notice. Since we're a little bit forward, we'll just push both staggards up to this blue wall and the edge of the wall here, and we'll begin the exercise from there, okay? So if you guys just want to push your staggards up to the edge of the walls here, don't worry that there's open terrain there, we'll pretend there's a wall for now. You'll get plenty of opportunity in a minute. Okay, so in this first instance of the, I don't know what to call this, but we'll just call it staggered movement, you can see that red team has come up to a crossing point. So Cadius, as he would, has taken the right corner there, which leaves Piper able to keep facing forward with his sector. Everyone in blue will make him believing that they're against the wall, so they can keep their usual sectors of rear, middle, and back, whereas red is now preparing to cross their obstacle. So obviously Clipser, as the second man, is going to be the first one crossing. His position that he takes up is immediately going to be facing forward still along the road, straight away followed by Paldanius, who is then going to hold the corner as Cadius is, but on his side. The last, second to last person to cross will be the fourth person, which is Estonius, and lastly followed by Cadius, who will then take up the third spot. So Clipser, if you want to cross and take the forward position, all the while blue team is holding their position, letting them safely cross. So
Ollie.
Clipser, go ahead.
Also remember to call in crossing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the standard rules apply, calling crossing and calling set.
Set.
Okay, so then Paldanius will cross and he'll take up the corner, just like Cadius has.
Moving.
Estonius, all the while, will still have been covering the rear. And now he's now he will continue to cover the rear, and Cadius will now move across, because that rear will still need covering. So Cadius will now move that the corner is covered by Paldanius. And lastly, obviously, Estonius will cross. Now that red team is slightly ahead of blue team, whilst red team is still holding the corner, Piper's team on blue will start to push up until they themselves are parallel with red team. Again, we're going to just ignore this left gap for now, as red team have pushed slightly past it, but we'll pull back and let you run the exercise as well, blue team. So you guys can push up and become parallel with red again, whilst Paldanius is still holding the corner. Once red is fully past that gap, they can then call to blue team and say they're clear of the gap or something along those lines, and then you guys know you're ready to continue moving on to the next obstacle.
Blue team clear.
Cool. Baelish, you need to make sure you move as well. Again, make sure you're calling out when you're moving on both sides. So Piper, if your team's ready to move forward, you make sure you call your team's ready to move forward. That way the last man knows as well.
Blue team set.
So that's how we'd handle a one-sided section. So if we just reverse slightly, this time we'll have blue team do it on their side with the... Sorry, I wasn't using the radio. Well, if we just reverse slightly, this time we'll have blue team crossing the gap on the left, and red team will just be holding until blue is ready. So everyone reverse up a couple steps.
Alright, move back.
For the point of this one, red team, just pretend that there is no gap here, as blue did a second ago, okay? So you can stand in this gap, we'll pretend there's a wall, alright? Cool. Just take up your sectors as you usually would. Everyone in red. Okay, so this time it'll be blue team covering, so as Piper is first man, he'll take the corner. And then as you saw earlier...
Piper set, blue team start crossing.
Ronan moving.
Good.
Ronan.
So at this point we've got a bit of an issue because there is only one man at the back, but because Roland has to cover forward, Piper's the only one who can cover the gap. So yeah, at this point we would have Baelish moving because you do still have Estonius covering the rear, so you don't have a weak point, whereas if Piper moves, you do then have a weak point. So Baelish, you would be next to move. Then you
Blue
can
team's
call over
first.
to red, and then red can move up and call when they're ready to go as well.
Red moving. Red set.
Cool, so that's how we'll handle a one-sided intersection like that. Any questions? This will apply for alleyways or any large crossing like that. Is there any questions about it? Good, it's fairly simple. I know this is more time-consuming than just pushing past normally, but if you're in a very hostile area and you need to be a bit more careful, this does have its uses. So, doors and windows and things like that should be fairly simple. If it's a window, just stay crouched moving past it. The opposite side of the road can take a look inside for you. If there's contact, they'll shout over that you've got a contact in your window. Doorways, pretty much the same. If it's a small doorway that's open, just take a peek, take a brief pause, have a quick look. The second man passes, first man stays there while the whole group passes, then the first man will push on to the rear. Pretty much the same as a gap, but you don't need to slow down and stop quite as much. Okay? Okay, then we come up to a crossroad like this. So if you guys want to all push up and take up sectors on the crossroad, take a couple steps back though for before you actually enter it. Just as you're about to get to it, but you haven't quite reached it yet. Last man on red, just come forward a bit so you can keep an eye better. So when approaching a crossroad like this, the first thing to do that's important is the front guys will watch across cover. That means Roland will watch right and Calypso will watch left, because you can safely cover each other's angle without exposing yourself to your own, which means you don't have to peek around a corner and get shot before you can cover it. So Calypso and Roland will organise to push up to the corners together and do a cross-cover situation. So if you guys want to do that now. Okay, once you've got that cross-section covered, you can then quickly turn and cover your own corners.
Ready?
Obviously, this has to be orchestrated and communicated between you both. You need to call clear and ready to turn.
Clear and ready to turn.
Dying!
Just Over.
Take some juice. Get some water.
Corner clear.
Turning.
Turning.
Well, I was going to teleport Shaq, but apparently he's not in the teleport list.
Cover. No, corner covered.
Oh, well, whatever.
Just call my side clear.
My side clear.
Just cough and assume we're not.
Right side clear.
Okay, so once the crossroad is covered, you will each take it in turns, one from red first, then one from blue, in crossing and forming the exact same pattern as you did on the one-sided intersection. So let's say red team moves first, so Estonius would move first and cover forwards, or the direction you're heading, on the other side of the crossroad, followed by Piper doing the exact same thing. Then the second person would cross, which in this case would be Paldanius, and, well, left-siders doesn't have 4, but Paldanius would take up cover on the corner as he did with the one side. In this situation, obviously, Baelish would have to move and take up the cover on the crossroad as well. So do you want to orchestrate that bit quickly? Communicate between the teams as well.
Estonius crossing. Okay, crossed.
Piper crossing. Piper set.
Paldanius moving. Paldanius set.
Baelish move. Baelish.
Cool, and then obviously Clipser and Roland, you are now safe to go, and Cadius will be last man again since he's covering rear.
Clips are moving.
Last man.
Clips are set.
Last man.
Roland, you need to go after Clipser before last man. I heard Clipser say he was set. Oh. I think he didn't use it on radio.
Roland moving. Roland set.
So yeah, ideally Roland would have moved before Cadius to not expose that rear, but yeah. Okay, and then once everyone's crossed, you can take up, resume your regular sectors in this new order. As I said, it's very important to remain dynamic in this sort of movement pattern, because you will be rolling and interchanging spots quite frequently, so you need to know what each spot should have covered. Okay, if you just want to progress naturally all the way down to the next crossroad, once we reach there, we'll pause. If I need to stop, I'll call out pause. Otherwise, I'll hand it to you guys to move accordingly, each spot and each doorway and window, etc. Off you go.
Before we do that, can I punch in a question?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
How do you expect people to do this between two different types of fire teams when they're not going to be on the same net?
Well, if you use yelling, you can hear each other. It's fine. Like, if you want to test it with yelling, you can. I'm just using the radio for more clarity, but if you want to test it with yelling, you'll realize that you can hear each other very clearly from this distance.
Alright.
Alright, as I said, I'll hand it over to you guys. You can progress to the next stop sign just there. There's a couple of... In fact, get to the next stop sign and do that crossroad, then I'll give you something for the next bit. So let yourselves go for the next. I meant doing what we just practiced, not just running.
That's what I thought you might have meant.
No worries, I may have made that unclear. Reverse it up a bit and do as I said, yeah. Let's try and make it nice and smooth, real buttery. See how smooth and quick... I mean, the quicker you can do it, the better. But practicing it will take time, so get it right rather than rush it, and then you'll sort of naturally get faster. Off to you guys.
Blue set, Piper set.
Baelish set.
Roland set.
Cross, blue cross.
Roland moving. Roland set.
Baelish moving. Baelish set. Last man
moving. Last man set. Red
Red team, good to move.
Red team moving.
Moving left now.
Yep.
Oh, there's a corner on the inside.
Yeah, blue team, grab your corner.
Blue corner is set.
Light moving. Light set.
Bearish moving. Bearish set. Last move.
Blue team, be advised. Can you see anything on the building on our side?
Negative.
Did you hear me?
Copy that.
Yeah. Rolling moving. Rolling set.
Let's remove.
Red team moving.
Last time moving.
Alright, continue and do this crossroad as I explained before. Just bear in mind that the buildings on the opposite side are a little bit more tricky, but I'll watch and see how you guys handle it.
They're on the crossroads.
Sorry.
Clearing right.
Covering left.
Right's clear.
Left's clear.
Grab the turn. 3,
Turning.
2, 1, turn.
Turning.
Left's clear.
Right's clear.
Blue set.
Estone is
it.
crossing. Estone is crossing.
Go ahead.
Rolling crossing. Rolling set.
Bearish crossing.
Okay, just pause right there quick. So, Roland and Estonius, who are at the front here, a good idea for angles like this, as if you were to cover your own straight, you're going to be fully exposed. So a good idea would be Estonius covering diagonally and keeping himself tucked in, here, like here where I am at Estonius. Roland doing the same, using the corner, and you get a good angle of Estonius's right side. Similar to what you do on a crossroad, and then you just keep each other's side like that until you're ready to start moving again. That way you're safe and got cover. Continue.
Bearish set.
Hold on, he's moving. Last man.
Taking points.
Clips up, pipes moving.
Set.
5%, clips go.
Clips are moving. Clips are set.
Cool, that's everyone. Alright, just continue pushing down. Like I said, the exercise will end at the next Gravius sign, so you'll be heading that way, okay? Just continue going. Let's see how smoothly you can get this going. As I said, the smoother you get it, the quicker you'll be able to do it, and that will make this not seem like such a lengthy and laborious task.
Everyone keep on comms.
Treat this gap here as a big gap. But I'll use comms. So blue team is in a bit of a sticky situation here because they've got a big gap to cross to be able to get over to, you know, effectively here and then a bit further on as well. But red team also has a gap on the right here. So in this situation, red team is best progressing to the corner wall here, and then at which point treating it similar to a crossroad. It's got to be a little bit dynamic, but just make sure your corners are covered, and you should be okay with it. Continue, and I'm also getting Shaki, and I'll get him to join blue.
Alright, Stony, take point.
Okay. Fucking
Follow on
stops.
behind Rowan to the edge of the building.
Just the V over the...
Can we get a visual on the building to the east, red?
Got nothing so far.
Copy that.
Press V to vault over.
Damn it. Well. Ah, for fuck's sake.
Hello, Shaq. Go blue, we're doing street
You're
crossings.
out,
at the
you're
moment.
out. Keep your eyes towards point.
I'll give you a quick
Yeah, I'm
1, 2, 3
trying, but-
while these guys progress, and you can link in, okay?
Press V!
Red are currently just struggling
There
with
we go.
hedges.
So the general gist of it is we're just practicing height,
Rolling moving.
movement.
Rolling set. Gap looks clear. Red.
Copy that. Estonians move over.
Seriously, Piper.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm just covering it now.
Baldani's passing.
I mean, say something, because I can see you actually.
Set.
You moved up.
Clips are passing. Set.
Time.
Can you keep eyes towards east?
Oh, this is a really tricky one.
Okay, Blue, you've got Shaq in now. Just bear in mind that I've given him a quick through, but just keep him up to speed as if he doesn't move.
Estonia, your time to shine.
Also,
I'll be keeping
Luke,
this.
Blue, can you move towards the
Yeah.
corner?
Piper move.
So in this instance, as I said, it's kind of a bit like a crossroads. So Blue, as you're in this sort of sticky situation, and Red's about to be exposed to their left, someone from Blue team might want to cross to where I'm stood now, so you've got that left somewhat covered. That might be your next point to move to, after which you can head round and cover the crossroad whilst Red's got your backs. It's all about working together, and if you've got a blind side or are about to move into a blind side, communicating to the other team that they need to fill it.
Piper, if you want to move, I'll hold straight forward.
Piper's moving.
Alright, keep my 12 o'clock.
Blue team, I'll move with you.
Okay, so Shaq, that'll be you moving next. So you're going to want to take up the right side of Piper, looking down the street there for now.
Right, moving. Estonians, keep my 12 o'clock, I told you.
set up. What is your
Moving.
12 o'clock?
My 12 o'clock is south.
Okay, then between Cadius and Baelish, since you're both rear, decide which one of you is going to move first. In this situation, I'd recommend Cadius moving first, because Baelish has better coverage of the rear.
That is ma'am.
That's ma'am.
Blue gap to your northeast is clear.
Alright, switch with me.
You're moving over towards Piper.
So, yeah,
those are basically
Baelish,
your.
you've got a bit of a long move.
You're
want to be
taking
heading
up
to about that
northeast
corner
now.
now.
Because you were. Yeah, there we go.
It's around to the next building.
The next bit of cover there. Come around to where I am.
Blue, we're heading down the alleyway towards the Blue King.
And then clip, so make sure you're now covering the rear as all of Blue team.
Hey,
Where if they push up, they'll all have crossed.
Yeah.
Blue team, if you tighten up a bit, then you'll be not exposed to the gap anymore, so you should be good. And keep
Rolling
your
moving.
now left man. Good, good, good.
Rolling set.
I was moving.
Remember to yell crossing if you're moving past each other's barrels. Bit late.
Shock moving.
There's no space, otherwise I'll be in the open to get shot in the arse.
Yes, and I'm covered by this fucking
Piper, am I clear?
wagon.
Windows look clear on red side.
Copy, Piper. Your window is clear.
The KDS take over.
Your side looks clear.
Last man Eclipse, who we're moving.
Yeah.
Got a corner over here. Your side.
Hey.
Watch my side corner.
Hey.
Copy, copy. Moving. Your corner.
Moving backwards in this game is hard.
You got a right on your Molotov crossroads again if you want to do it like that.
Copy.
I can't see the full
House in
right
front looks clear. You can move, you can move.
Grip on the corner, Piper set.
So if you pause quickly there, the only downside to the movement you just did is now Piper has an exposure over here with nobody covering this gap. So you need to try and make sure you move in unison. Okay, That's fine then. If Baelish has got about an angle of this, so just make sure you move as quickly as possible to take the rest of that angle off of that Baelish can't see. Continue.
Piper, once you reach the container, I can switch.
Yeah, fam.
Isn't red team lead supposed to look like southwest?
It's a weird angle.
Because
So
Piper turned southwest. No,
Oh, Piper, I got.
I'm listening to Baelish, wait, so.
what are you confused about now, Baelish?
Because he was watching your.
Estonians, keep moving. Don't slack about. Keep moving.
We're moving Eclipse here.
Yeah, yeah.
Fidelis is covering you first to
Eh.
keep this angle.
Crossing.
Right?
Yes.
And then you're covering my right.
Yes.
But Paldanius was making sure no one was gonna
Got
kill
it.
me.
Crossing.
Ronan, moving.
I don't understand.
Holding corner.
What did you mean?
Ronan set.
Clipser, we can move.
Alright, Baelish, you good?
Clips are moving.
No, wait.
Red, can you give me a visual on the building northeast?
Clips are set.
Northeast.
Baelish set. Last man Piper.
Stage clear.
Nothing in.
Copy.
Oh, Shock here. I forgot about it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry.
Piper, that'll be you moving next.
Yeah, Blue, I want you,
Shag's got the rear.
I want you guys moving, since I can't let this corner slip.
Sorry?
Because if you're still holding the corner, Paldanius, you can cross it. I'm holding it.
I know, but you have Baelish covering as
Copy that.
And
Moving.
Baelish has got all the firing angle that Paldanius could take.
Alright.
5%.
And then Shag, your last man. I don't think he heard you, Piper.
Keep on the radio.
Piper set. Checking you up.
Moving.
Shag,
No.
you don't want to take last man. Baelish would move to take last man. You just fit in behind Piper.
Okay.
It's all about like keeping it rolling, so you'll keep dynamically switching.
Is blue set?
Set.
Blue set.
Estonia's cover my side, I'll cover yours.
Yeah.
Moving.
Windows are boarded.
Right's clear.
Right's clear.
Left's clear.
Turning corner. 3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Right's clear.
Hold one on that,
Rolling
guys.
set.
Hold one.
Truck moving.
Good so far. Hold one. Hold one. Well, you can move up, but after this crossroad, and including this crossroad, the rest of this, as I said, we're moving to the next Gravia sign, which is just past the blue fence. It's fairly difficult. There's a lot of tight and quick and open areas. So I'll let you guys handle it how you think best should, based on everything we've just done. You're doing well so far. But take your time. Remember, this isn't a combat situation right now, so take your time and really learn how to handle these more difficult areas like this, okay? If you need to, break away from your sector to see how someone's handling something, then do so. Carry on.
Alright, Clipser, when I'm passing, keep an eye on that balcony.
Yeah, copy. Got eyes.
Right there.
Yep.
Hold on, he's moving. Set.
Piper's moving. Set.
Alright, pause there quickly. So given the situation right now, since the road is kind of at a weird bend, Piper, I'd actually recommend your position, and rather than facing forward in this instance, actually covering from here, where I am now. So you've got Paldanius's rear from what Roland can't see, given the angle of the road. I know it's hard to see that until you're here, but... No, I mean, if you look over there, there's a whole street that Roland can't see. If you see what I mean, like, given the angle of the road, Roland's angle is not going to be able to see that. As I said, guys, if you want to move and see what I'm talking about, feel free to break formation to do so. Just remember where you were.
Coming up from the parking sign. Except for that, I got a pretty good visual.
Just that's the only thing to bear in mind, that you might need to dynamically maneuver this. Having all sectors is the important thing.
Okay, continue.
Eclipse are moving.
Eclipse to take front.
Eclipse
Shock
is head.
moving.
Mr. Next.
You move first, Cadius.
Crossing fire, taking front.
Eilish, you move.
Yeah, I got front,
I'll hold
east.
corner, yeah.
Eilish, you set.
Better position.
Roland moving.
I saw something moving. It was a
Roland.
rabbit.
I think everything is
Blue,
moving.
can you start moving on towards the gap on your wall?
Start pushing down to the gap on the wall, I presume, which is to your front.
I think that's Shaq that should move. No, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Given that red can see the right, they have got all angles covered because there's a fence one side and the road the other side is being covered as well. Since blue has got the rear, that means red can continue looking down the road, and they know that no one can come.
Yep.
So blue team can safely cross up to the edge of this. Not crossing it, Shaq, but just move to the edge of this. That is absolutely 100% safe to do.
Eclipse are moving.
Although I'd advise blue team being the ones to progress up to this wall before red team moves at all, given that Clips and now you'll be moving into an open area. Although there is a wall the other side, you can't quite see that until Shaq calls out that it's safe. But there's a building there, so you never know. So I'd get all of blue team to move up along this wall, given that the right is
I have
perfectly safe.
a quick interjection, actually, just more of an observation.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is more of a rare scenario, right? Because even if we were an ODA, we'd be, what, 6 people? So you'd only be really clearing one side of the street. So unless it was 2 ODAs working in tandem on the other side of the street, but at that point, you might as well have them either going different directions or clearing the same side with a space, right?
Yeah, it's not like it's going to be a frequent scenario, but it's still important to know. And like I said, it's good if you get it practiced, you can get it smooth. But I mean, if you're moving as
section at this point, like,
if you're moving as one ODA, then you would have 2 fire teams. And if you are heading in the same direction, let's say you've got a priority tasking to move down the street without needing to go down the sides, then you know it's not going to be a particularly common situation, but it's still very important to know how to do it.
Alright, carry on.
Alright, get going then, Bear.
But
Back up, Roland, so you need to cover.
Say again, back up, yeah.
Eclipse or Shadow.
Shaq, make sure you're covering
Wasn't they supposed to move fully first?
I mean,
Technically, you can move as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
Okay.
soon as Roland crosses and covers the inside compound, then yeah, red team, you're now safe to move up.
Roland set.
Yeah, Eclipse are moving.
I'll try not
Eclipse
to.
is head.
hey, S-Tone is crossing.
Eclipse, how's my garage looking?
Don't see anything from this angle.
the line is moving.
Got it, last one. Oh wait, should I be
It's
last
fine.
man?
It's
Yeah,
too late.
if you're the
move it.
rear, you should be last man, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't fix anything that's just happened.
Eclipse, you want to turn?
Yeah, ready.
3, 2, 1.
Zonus last man.
Garage clear.
Clear. Yeah, right,
Moving
clear.
forward.
What?
If you do make the mistake like that and moving too early, it's not the worst thing in the world because blue still has the rear, so it's okay.
Yeah.
You can move at this point as well, Paldanians.
Yeah.
Line is moving.
That is moving. I'll grab the corner.
Alright.
Paldanius, to your left,
Yeah.
check that for me.
Yeah.
Eclipse are moving.
Check my Yeah, looks clear.
Yeah, stone is moving.
Front looks clear. Turning.
Copy. Move to your corner. Turning.
Turning.
Calypso, can you take my front?
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah, looks clear.
Don't forget, Baelish, this is an opening here. Even if there is a fence, it's still an opening.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking.
We've already cleared it, Mac.
Yeah, I know, but there's potential. I mean, there's a whole open area over there that enemies
Yeah,
can come from.
but if they're
Yeah, but
crossing...
Estonia has that cleared already from this side, so it's
Doesn't mean
the
enemies
crossfire is
can
already
just
fixed.
Go there, yeah.
Cool. All right, we can end the exercise there. We've reached the sign, so you can all stand down and just line up along the blue fence.
Fence. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's not like, you know, you'll be needing to use this 100% of the time, because of course, usually you wouldn't have to travel down the main MSR specifically. But there are situations where this could be handy, and you might realize how useful this could be, even if you're not moving like this and you're moving as just a fire team or as a whole ODA. Either way, it's very important to know how to do the smooth dynamic rollover, cover and move like that, as it will be endlessly useful in all situations. Maybe not specifically this, but as I said, for training and exercise purposes, this was over-dramatized, just so it would make sense in your heads. Based on that, does anyone have any questions about it at all?
I have something to add.
Okay, take questions first, and then we'll take that. Okay, we'll take that now.
Alright, so I'll just step forward just a little bit. Like, moving in this sort of, like, formation constantly, it's even if you know how to move like this, number one, it contains a lot of sound, and number two, it's still going to contain a lot of time. It's always going to be time consuming, so it might sometimes, most of the times, always going to be something that you just want constantly, like the constant movement of having your point man always at front. But just check the corner, and then while you're crossing the corner, you would initially look down the corner all the way until you're past the corner and then look front. So if I could show it just real quick, if I can borrow 3 guys.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
can I spacing forward when you slice the pie when you're.
Can I get one more, Paldanius?
Of course.
Paldanius. Okay, on me. Just real quick, so everyone can just look down the corner. Just look straight down here. So if everyone looks straight down here, we'll be crossing the road from northeast to southwest. So we'll be moving like this. Because the front has already been checked, and then we cross the corner, and once we cross the corner, I'll switch back to front, and then the rest of the guys takes their part, and we'll constantly be on the move. We'll constantly be moving, checking the corners that needs to be checked. So a new opening is open, and I'll check the opening, pass it, and then once passed, I'll move, I'll check the first opening, and I'll move it. Opening is clear, and then I'll check the next opening, and then we'll be constantly moving. It's quicker, it's not as safe, but it will always be as effective. It's just because if there's enemy there, they're for sure gonna fire. So in a quick scenario, this is always gonna be something that's always useful to just constantly be moving.
Yeah, it's just obviously be advice that if you do just go out into the open like that, you could find that, like, if there is several enemies or something around that corner, or that catch you by surprise, it could be dangerous. So yeah, although it's quicker, it's also more dangerous. So it really is dependent on what the situation you're in determines. Anyway, so that's the exercise, so we'll start moving on to the FTX at this point. It's just a small one, obviously. But let me just contact Saw and ask if we can get a pickup quickly, and then I'll give you the briefing while they're on the way. Give me one second.
Why can't we just head back to the truck and drive it back?
Well, yeah, okay, we can do that. Head back to the truck then. I'll still contact Saw, and because I don't know where they are, they were doing an exercise.
wing mirrors on my arms.
You're gonna run into a wall like that.
No, I got wing mirrors on my arms, Kenny.
Oh, okay.
Piper, why are you going backwards?
Actual, this is like all.
Is this
carbon
Piper?
one
You know, I gotta
message.
make sure that you're all safe. All my geese.
You don't have to. You can just disrupt.
Paladin has permission to drive. Yes.
No, well that.
Permission, yes.
Permission, yes.
Permission, yes.
It was like the execute this.
Permission granted. Permission to make my own route. Questionably, permission granted.
Just don't go off road, Christ.
Oh, he's definitely going off road.
I'm definitely not going off road.
I have bad memories of.
I'm making the Pathfinder video at the moment, and I got a scene.
As well, then we can
What?
get this FTX started with you guys as transport.
No. Nope.
Which is interesting.
Now, don't be like that. He's a really nice driver.
You say that.
You wanna see some video?
Yep.
Last man in?
Yeah, last man in.
We're missing Goring.
No, he's a recruit. He's by the recruit stage.
Okay.
Yeah, Kalenki.
Kalenki's not here.
Kalenki's not
No,
here.
Kalenki with recruits, as I
Yeah.
understand.
Kalenki was having trouble.
Kalenki.
He was having trouble to connect, so he's just got in now,
Oh.
I think. No,
Really?
He was training the recruits,
See him on
no,
server.
Yeah, he was training the recruits even.
Yeah, I thought so.
This is where you turn on the Slavic hard pass.
Lipanovsky.
You don't know
Anyone
about
know?
Slavic, right?
What?
Kurva.
We're so dead.
Ой, сука, блядь.
Сука, блядь.
Ah, stop
Блядь, иди
it.
нахуй.
Stop, please, no, please, no, don't do
Hallo,
this.
Cheeky Breaky Danke.
Yeah, Tiki Breaky.
Eve
Yeah,
Damke.
Hookers.
Eve Damke.
Eve them.
It's Boris.
Okay, come on guys, shut up.
I'm glad the Russian is sane.
Hey.
If he wasn't, he'd be trying to invade at the moment.
6 kvass i hardpass.
Hard one. Oh, it's the drift corner.
Oh no.
Don't do it.
Do it. Pussy.
And then they all died.
I think we got a really tired gang in the back. It's really tired. Oh my god. Never mind.
Gesundheit.
Kill it before you lay sex.
Are we going back on base?
Yeah, though. I mean, there.
I thought we're going to FTX. Okay.
What is
Yeah.
FTX?
Yeah, no, we're
Wait,
going
where
because
is
we
it?
need sort to insert.
Ah, okay. Fly boys need some work.
Or just to learn how to land is also another one.
Yeah. Last time was hilarious.
A little bit forward. A little bit forward. A little bit forward.
Caddius, please.
Allen mannen raus.
Oh, look at that beautiful parking. It's
Box, thank the nice taxi driver.
yeah, okay, that's 50 euros.
Oh.
They love
Rest of you head back to the barracks.
Buggers.
ja. Ach ja.
I'm not shocked, you know? I'm not doing this weird. Roland,
That's
are you
Roland.
a table dancer?
No, I'm sunbathing.
It's called a stripper, and not.
There's two different entities.
I'm
Stripper
sunbathing.
and table
Why is Elise
dancer.
on?
She's stripper.
Never mind.
She's the current feast.
She shows me her ass. I think.
Is this the victory feast? Is it Elise?
Yes.
You're not invited.
Booty feast.
Tonight
Ooh,
we
yeah,
feast.
baby.
Elise, lay down on
Shake
the
it,
table.
shake it.
Oh, she's rubbing her ass on the table. No, that's
We need
disgusting. That's where they
appropriate-
eat their food.
Oh, she's backing up on me.
God, it's a striptease for you, Shaq.
Can someone turn me around, please? I'm facing the wrong way right now.
Yeah, back.
Shaq's getting married. We hired a stripper. Surprise!
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some food.
Food is good. It's
Well,
not
watch out for
control.
Estonia, Shaq. That chair kills people, by the way.
Yes.
Okay, Roland, go.
No, it's too far away. She's AFK.
Wait, okay. Why is she AFK? We hired her.
She's not doing her job properly. No tips for her.
Wait, no. Yeah, actually, yeah, that might be because if she goes off the table.
Yeah, there needs to be some space for a private lap dance, you know?
I'm gonna be the best man, okay? You ready?
Yes.
Shaq's getting married, so we hired a stripper to celebrate one of his last days as a free man.
Do I have to be here?
There you go.
No, I'm out of here. No. Okay, we on the drinks we have a saline, so
Okay, so basically
I gotta
Bailey
leave
said
for
I'm
like
getting out of here
15
just to get
minutes.
closer
I'll
to
tell
where
the
the action
others.
was happening.
You have to leave for 15 minutes. Or in 15 minutes.
Ran away.
it's shitty.
Oh, no.
Whatever it is.
Max? I gotta leave for like 15-20 minutes. Yeah, beautiful, thank you.
I guess I should be the medic then.
do the hostage mission. No.
He likes to do hostage missions.
Better pack some flashbangs then.
What the hell is going on?
We're doing hostage shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Already had some
Good for you.
flashbangs, I think.
Good, I can't get down.
Stun grenades.
Wait, which one was the good one, the Ace or the RHS grenade?
I don't know.
think it's the
I don't
RHS
use grenades. Which reminds me, did he put grenades in this set? Yes, he did. I don't want them. I would rather take smoke grenades. Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is everyone? Oh.
What?
What was that, darling?
Who are you talking to?
He always talks to himself.
Or even whatever the fuck you want to call it nowadays, on the barracks.
Do we wait for her, or do we need another medic?
Lives the way you silence her at.
Uh-oh. Someone messed
Somewhere in here. Why?
Because I told you to put it on, you goofus.
I didn't
There
hear
we go.
that. But are we waiting for Elise to get back, or?
You said 15 minutes, so I
Yeah.
presume not.
So.
Yeah, let's make sure you got a silence from that fair point.
I didn't even choose loadout yet, because I don't know what mission is.
We're gonna go rescue some hostages, so take a light one.
Okay.
It might be required to set as medic.
Possibly, but we're not hoping to not get shot that much. So.
Well, obviously, but you still might need a medic.
Gurlos.
Krank.
Alright, let's just say we have a medic, but hopefully we won't get shot that much, so.
Auf Wiedersehen. Ja, bitte.
Can you not whisper?
You're on Whisper.
Shit.
What
Cadius,
is-
you're
yeah.
fire team leader for this whole ODA right now.
We're gonna be rolling with the fire team as command, i.e. Piper and me. But Cadius, you have full command of everyone below you.
Will you be on 110?
Roger
Yes,
that.
please. Okay.
And rest of you guys, can you go on something else? Let's say 111.
Okay. Since you ask so nicely. Oh my god. Flipster. What the fuck?
Disgusting Eclipser.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nobody's laughing.
Yep.
That was not funny, Eclipser. Never do that again.
I get you, KS, one day.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
That's some real intuitive reloading.
Don't shoot anyone. I'm looking at Cadius and the temptation is like exceedingly high. So.
Alright, are you guys ready?
Nope.
Yes.
111 radio check.
Okay, check.
Lima Charlie.
Yep.
I'm clear.
110 radio check.
Nope.
So while you guys are
You're
not
not
on
supposed to.
You're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
supposed to be here.
Just somewhere in the area so that we actually have cover.
111, this is Cadius checking in. Radio check.
Nope.
Nope. That's sorry. That's wrong.
110.
Radio check. Over.
Yeah, so.
Radio loud and clear.
That was
You don't need to make the
strange.
sound because it. Okay.
I know. I just wanted to make I wanted to make it twice.
Over now. This is Cadius over now.
I'm 6, I'm your CO, and
Yeah. I
getting
thought
hooked
so.
up on wine.
Are you 6?
Alright, fine, I'm 6.5. Jeez.
Ah, that's better. Know your age.
Allfather 1, this is Viking 1 actual message. Allfather 1, we are ready to Oscar Mike. Over.
I'm missing someone?
We don't wait for Roland?
Copy that, Viking 1 actual out.
You say it's just gonna take 15 minutes and we've not, like...
Okay.
What's that?
We're not waiting 15
just
minutes for
talk
Roland.
about Elise.
Okay.
Okay.
She's gone, she said she'll be gone for 15 minutes, so...
Alright, Cadius, take your men towards the heli platform. We'll follow with Warrant Officer.
Alright, Viking 1 on me.
Please don't walk. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Fucking dopes. Holy shit.
Big Daddy, this is Papa Bear over.
Wait.
Yeah, which chopper is mine, Big Daddy? Copy that, Big Daddy. Papa Bear out. Alright, just form a line behind me.
They left their vehicles on. Not even turning off the engines. That's not, like, good for the environment.
Ah! The army gets enough money either way, it doesn't matter.
I'll be Willy Wanker on comms.
Willy Wanker, okay, copy that.
And I'll be right back taking a piss.
I'll be...
Oh, that was a nice one.
I mean, now
Oh,
that's
okay.
your call sign then.
I'll be right back.
Helmut Schmacker here.
Willy Wanker, this is Twink.
Wait, what?
I think he said twink, but I'm not 100%.
This is Willy Wanker. Who's calling?
This is Twink, Willy Wanker.
Copy, Twink. This is Willy Wanker. Send message.
Just checking in. Twink out.
Is this recruits?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The hell are they shooting? Shotguns?
M14s.
Sounds like.
You need to start with something.
Free ball.
Hey, do you have some lamp?
Alright, guys,
Right
you want to line up outside the heli. When pilots get in, you can start boarding up.
Which heli?
First one. Betsy 1, as it's called.
Working one on me. Line behind me.
Column.
I'm going to come in
Column.
with you, but I'm probably going to stay
Column.
around the LZ point so I can make sure it's all working.
Line, column, epsilon, whatever.
Yeah.
Triangle.
Alright, wait for sort to board and then you guys can hop in.
I think it's
Okay, this
triangle,
is
right?
Willy Wanker. Keep file
Yeah.
cabinet formation.
File cabinet.
File cabinet.
Send again, Willy Wanker.
Twinkie, this is Willy Wanker.
Send the Willy Wanker.
It would be better if you didn't laugh.
Willy Wanker, please repeat. Yeah.
Twink, this is Cock Gobbler. He said keep it in file cabinet formation.
One message over.
Go.
Send it, Valkyrie.
Copy that. Twink out.
Alright, you guys should start boarding.
This is stupid.
Working one. Ward on me.
Gustanio, stop this shit.
Watch it.
Dead on my screen.
Good saying.
Oh, I'm in tears. Pre-flight check. Pilot, you ready?
Right.
Pre-flight check. Line, yep.
I like that guy's hand going through the wheel arch.
Stop lines, going down.
Baelish is sitting on my lap.
Be advised,
Yes,
last man in.
baby. It's your whatever wedding, I think.
Why can't I hear everybody in the back?
Sorry, listen up, you dopes. Shut it.
Are you guys on cargo chat?
Yeah.
Copy with
no.
the wanker.
Oh my god, my T-FAR is destroyed.
Your life is destroyed.
He has no life to begin with.
Your mom is destroyed after I went home.
Good point.
What? After, like, the burn just got longer and longer. It's like, your mom is destroyed after I went home and destroyed her.
That's no little fuck you.
Alright, shut up guys, shut up.
Valkyrie one spoon.
advise, we got the upgrader.
10-4.
We're about to touch down, guys. Be ready. Okay, prep. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. You can go.
Go.
Just got off.
Set a perimeter, ASAP.
Cut southeast.
Southwest. Go to work east. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it until the bird takes off. Alright, on me. We're moving northeast. Will Wanker be advised? Wings on move.
Okay, I refuse to be called a wing.
Copy that, Wings.
Send the Will Wanker.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, well. Climb it.
Keep a low profile, start passing the area.
Well,
Copy that, Will Wanker. Swing south.
Right, get out of here, man.
Oh, God.
Alright, once we get through our next objective, which is Glasstown, we're just to take a low up the crest and then scout out the city which lies beneath us. Copy that, Wings. Okay.
copy that.
Give me a solid read back, Wings.
I usually have right left, but now I have left right.
Scout out to town, northeast.
For blind formation to my left. Alright, we're crossing the hill. Let's nice and easy, nice and slow.
Left. And right.
Be advised, eyes on smoke, go ahead and start scout.
This is not a city.
Wheeler Wanker, this is Twinks over.
Send message.
Be advised, we have eyes on black smoke coming out of the city, over.
We do?
Say again, Twinks.
Be advised, Twinks have eyes on black smoke coming out of the city, over.
Copy that. Do you have any ideas where the HVT could be held?
Be advised, my best guess is the black smoke at this current time, over.
Copy that. Do you see any high value buildings? Over.
Please repeat that, Will Wanker.
Block smoke is from burned out vehicle.
Do you see any high value buildings? Over.
Way one, Will Wanker, twinks out. Do you guys see any well fortified buildings, etc.?
I see one-time infantry moving near black smoke.
I saw one officer moving behind the black smoke bearing towards east.
I see a second infantry with rocket launcher.
Copy that, full cop.
Will Wanker,
See one infantry at the
we have eyes on infantry contact in the city around the black smoke. Best guess is gonna be around that smoke, over.
Solid copy.
Will Wanker, Twinks requesting permission to enter the city and search the black smoke area, over.
Twinks, this is Willy Wanker, hold 1. Piper, I want you to lay out the plan with Cadius. I'll signal Mac and we'll
Alright,
head
keep
after that.
a low profile. I don't want to get spotted up this one.
Kadias, a red roof building furthest from us, near the electric pole, there is one-time infantry in the window.
A proper grid ref on that smoke.
Yeah, copy that. Way one.
Bearing 9-2.
Can someone give me a proper grid ref on the black smoke who's actually have a clear sight of it?
I have one-time infantry patrolling. I don't see anything else.
Who wants the grid ref? Where is it?
Just down there.
Oh, over there.
Do you still want a grid ref for that?
Yeah, copy that. Give me that grid ref.
That would be the northeast corner of grid 0C, wait, actually 208068.
Yep.
Repeat again.
Northeast corner of grid 208068.
Alright, yeah, I agree with you, Piper. Will Wanker,
The intersection in the middle of Selancano.
Black smoke is currently at northeast corner of grid 208068. I repeat, northeast corner of grid
Guys there just stopped and staring at the wall.
208068. I'll copy, over.
Solid copy. That'll be interrogative. That'll be the northeast part of town. Over.
That's a solid copy, over.
I'm just gonna mark. So we'll hit grid 1 first. G1, 2, and then.
What the fuck is that infantry wearing?
We could really use Kalenka here.
Alright, Twinks on me.
Okay.
Will Wanker, be advised, Twinks on move.
I refuse to be called a twink.
Cop that, Twinks.
Who the fuck is Twinks?
Be advised, we're switching formation from column over to a tactical wedge. Keep it spread. Shifting direction, northeast, over. Alright, beat-wise, we're gonna grab a knee guard and set up security to all directions, over.
Clips are northeast.
Will Wanker, this is Twinks, over.
Shark is northwest.
Speedwise, Twinks took a knee due to heavy extortions. We're grabbing some stamina, over. Copy that, Willy Wanker. Twinks out.
Speedwise, Willy Wanker is coming in from our southwest, over. Alright, we're on the move. On me.
Blue Anchor, this is Twinks over. Speedwise, Twinks on move, currently moving into the first grid of the city, over.
Stop that.
Cockblock or send it. Copy that. How many are there? What do they look like? Copy that, Twinks up.
Guys, I need to rest.
Copy that, we're gonna grab a knee.
I'm crossing your barrel, Eclipser.
Taking fire.
Willy Wanker,
Take cover.
this is Twinks over.
Mission failure.
It's not us.
Twigs, I'm taking fire from the southeast.
But someone's taking fire.
Yes, it was already.
Copy that, we're on it.
Alright, Twinks, on me, we're moving. On me, we're moving northeast corner of compound. We're gonna keep it rolling and keep it moving, just hold the opening. Push past me, push past me, push past me.
Pushing.
Grab that corner, grab that next corner, keep pushing.
You good?
Will Wanker, be advised.
I hear contact southwest. Civilian.
Are you a medic?
No. Because Piper said we don't need a medic. I hate Russian.
What did he say? Not a civilian.
Alright, be advised, Twinks coming in to help you, Willy Wanker.
Who's speaking Russian?
Alright, okay. On me, guys.
Crossing. Hold my back. Make sure my back is clear.
Well, I got back.
Corner clear. Push cross it.
Go ahead and enter that compound. Go ahead and enter that compound.
Seems to be clear.
This compound.
Taking up front.
Crossing.
Crossing. CV's up front. Crossing road.
Move into the compound, clear the compound. Shack in Eclipse. Move.
Copy.
Moving.
Fuck.
Mhm.
Going left.
Behind you. And this is not a good. Where did you go?
That's friendly.
Target down.
Got the friendlies there. Right, ready to breach.
Keep my front.
I'm on you.
Opening in 3, 2, 1. Going in. Going right.
Going left. Clear.
Room is clear. Room is clear. Right, opening in 3,
Check out.
2, 1.
Send the cock block.
Going.
Around.
Clear. Staircase. Going upstairs.
Check
Upstairs
the
clear.
windows.
Room to the right. Ready
Chicken
to
balcony.
breach. Opening. Left
Balcony
side clear. Right side clear. Room's clear.
Copy. Balcony as well.
Building clear.
Check Eclipse, give me an update.
Come again?
Health for update.
Copy that.
Building's clear.
Hello.
Coming out.
It's clear.
Did he die?
I don't think so.
I don't know. No.
I don't think
Hardy as fuck though.
I don't know. Maybe he died. Maybe. All right. Give me a second, and then we'll be moving again. I just need to inject myself with a morphine.
I'm reloading.
Alright, on me.
Guys. Copy that. We're currently moving.
Yeah, back seems to be clear for now.
Behind you.
You wanna clear it?
Contact.
Yeah. Moving on to the other side.
Ah! The fuck?
Holy shit.
Entering right.
Okay, crossing.
I'm on you.
Cross this corner.
Crossing.
Gotta be advised. Feeling
Second back.
is clear.
Alright, we're moving across. Just cross it. Copy that.
Is it the civilians who speak Russian?
Yes.
It's very confusing.
Yes.
He's gonna have a bad day.
Yeah.
He's gonna have no day at all left.
Viper push down.
Crossing.
Crossing. Hey.
Fucking need some
Yeah,
stitching.
you're supposed to wait for me.
Yeah, I know. I realized. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing. What's in the store here? We're on the other side.
Yeah, someone grab the corner on my back, please.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, Chris, take it.
Alright, rest of you guys go ahead and cross over to the ATM on the other side.
Okay. Wait,
Take
push.
it snappy,
Viper,
ladies, boy.
take my position.
Crossing.
Switch.
No size on the shooter. Rest of you, go, go, go.
Flipser, Aldenius, you guys are the last man. We're moving.
Yeah.
Viper's moving.
Reach this building. Go, go, go. Hit him.
5%. 5%.
Which one of us moves first?
I'm crossing as well.
Upstairs.
I'm not on your radio, so yeah.
I'll go first. Clips are moving.
Last man's coming in.
Building.
Going in.
Speed-wise, we cleared a building that we could use as a safe spot. It's currently at the ATM. Doors should be open.
Copy, we're all here.
Friendly's coming in.
Let me out. Let me out first.
Friendly's coming in. Friendly's coming in.
Alright, rest of you guys on me ASAP. We're moving to find these guys.
Just gonna do an ace report here. Okay.
Where the fuck is he?
He went outside, south.
We're outside, outside at the wreck.
Go upstairs with him.
Outside where?
South.
At the
Outside
wrecks.
where?
Southeast.
At the wrecks, that's to the
Southeast.
northeast.
Northeast.
No, it's southeast.
There we go, there we go, there we go.
So southeast or northeast?
Yeah, this is southeast, come on.
Make sure you're clearing the, yeah, southeast south.
Ah, for fuck's
There's
sake.
more trucks in town.
Focus your search around the crash site.
Alright, you guys on me. There's a guy who surrendered here. I need someone to strip him.
Can do.
Fucking civilians.
Advise we have a guy who's surrendered here. Not sure if that's an HVT or what.
Is he civil looking, or is he,
Alpha 1, this is, Viking 1 actual message.
He's a civilian looking.
more than likely the HVT then?
Alpha 1, Viking 1 has reached crash site and are searching for HVPs. How copy?
Ah! Come on, kill them.
They are southwest, bearing 234.
Copy, hold these corners.
Yeah, be advised, like, the HVPs are supposed to be government officials. They might be sharply dressed, so watch your fire.
Okay.
Please repeat.
The HVPs are government officials, so they are most likely sharply dressed. Watch your fire.
Copy that. Just be advised, one civilian just got killed in our custody, but he was not sharply dressed, so it wasn't him then.
Copy that.
Alright, on me guys, regroup at the burned down vehicle.
Gonna need to patch myself up.
This is Viking 1 actual message.
Alright, can I get some eyes?
All Father 1.
Eyes towards
Viking 1
northeast,
has one
some
civilian
eyes down
casualty
towards northwest,
caught in a
and then
crossfire,
rest
over.
eyes up towards south.
I got northeast.
Got
Just
north.
stick us out.
Oh, I'm back.
I need someone to northwest. Eclipser, give me a sit trap on how long that's gonna take, that patching up.
Just done.
Stop that, we're moving then. On me.
Why did you open it?
Solid copy on last
I like to
intel
follow
Alpha
the
1.
rules.
We'll pass down.
Viking 1 actual Viking 1, brother.
Солдат, юг, 50 метры, прием.
Be advised, we have eyes on the yellow UAC, over. Jack, grab that corner. Third corner.
Badish hit.
Jack, I need you to grab that corner so I can grab the other corner.
I'll give you. Okay. Can you move in a bit? I'm a bit. across
It's fine, just hold
Just
it.
waiting for you to cross.
Alright, you guys are set to cross, go, go, go.
Badish pushing up.
Oh look, my reinforcements. Where's your gun?
Hey,
Roland, I need medical.
Where did you go?
copy that.
Alright, we'll get
Pushing.
into the building on the left here.
Yeah.
Badish.
Removing my my tourniquet at the same time.
Is second floor clear?
I don't know actually.
Okay, switch places with me then in a second. Wait. Okay, good.
Alright, rest of you guys go ahead and cross.
I'll keep it here.
Crossing.
I got the stairs.
Crossed.
Crossing.
We're at the yellow UAZ, currently crossing the road to search the building.
I think this is building where that guy was. Yeah. Come on, let's let me.
Negative, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, it's clear.
Alright, go ahead and clear this building. Pushing clear.
What's this building?
This building here? This front, you
this
guys
one,
are
yeah,
looking
okay,
straight
okay.
into it. Yeah, could you hold this
Morning.
corner up here?
Yeah, sure.
I'm behind you.
Left. Checking. Second floor. Go on second floor.
Oh shit. That's on the street.
Door on the right. Going right.
Contacts west of from my position, but I can't see them.
Building is
You guys in the building, could you guys see if you have eyes on the contacts direct west?
Looking.
negative.
Cop that, go ahead and push out and clear the building to your direct south. If you push out the same direction, there should be another building like the one you're in now. Clear that as well.
Second one, northwest, one time infantry, yeah, in the first floor.
Go ahead and kill him. Be advised, the people we're looking for are sharply dressed. They are government officials.
They moved out of sight.
You wanna move out?
There's a guy there, I can see his knee.
Yeah.
Speed-wise, I'll try to... Yeah, in a second. I'm just gonna see if I can try to take that shot. Ah, there we go. Ragdoll. Bitch. Oh, I pissed someone off.
Friendly's coming out.
Eyes on. Contact down.
Oh, copy.
Where do you need us?
In this building, right there.
Ooh, okay.
That building?
Jack,
No, some other building.
Yeah.
On you.
On me, over here.
What?
There you go. I'll follow you.
I don't understand what he's commanding, seriously. Okay, he said he wants to be in the building. Okay, we're in the building.
I think he wanted us to clear the building next door.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Ronin, radio check.
Speed-wise, we have
Loudon.
two UAZs that are apparently yellow-ish. Are they open top or closed top? Over.
Dude, there's a camera in the building bearing.
Yeah, I see.
That's probably where they made a hostage video or something.
In that building?
Yeah.
No, how do I point again?
That building.
Shift and then tilde.
Nope. Nope.
Take me out there. Point, lead the way.
Oh! Eclipser's hit.
Speed-wise, we have eyes.
What's your location, Eclipse?
Inside, we're pushing towards it now.
And the building.
Rest of you guys on me.
Behind
Except
Eddie's.
Eclipse.
Repeat.
Send message.
Eclipse, say again.
I'm over here. What is this building? Two-story building, red-ish. Where Estonia's is? I'm over here.
Crossing over, crossing.
Yeah, this civilian.
Can you patch me up afterwards? I have a bleeding torso.
Crossing.
Bandaging your head. I assume you already applied tourniquets?
Yes, I did. I'm bandaging Estonia's.
Okay, doing your right leg.
Estonia's
Speed-wise, we need a
status.
medic up here. We have we have one of the government officials.
Have you gotten this, by the way, Eclipse? Are you a medic?
No, I'm not.
Medic is currently treating others.
Apparently,
Fuck that, go there afterwards. I'm pretty okay right now. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Stitch.
alright.
Stitch and it'll be okay. You don't need to do anything else.
I'm stitching you.
Alright, rest of you guys on me. Shaq is gonna guard this one.
Who's the other medic, by the way?
There's no other medic.
Oh, rip.
Alright, on me guys. Regroup on me.
I said to Viper that we might need another medic because you were not here, so. But
Yeah, I
we
told
went
Spags,
without
okay,
medics.
you're good to cover.
Yeah,
Remove
thanks.
your own tourniquets?
Yeah, I did.
This is Roland. Currently free to do whatever you needed me to do.
Need you up at the HVT's location.
Copy that.
Southwest from here.
Thank you.
I'm behind you. I believe it's in that building straight ahead. Southwest. Over there.
Straight ahead. Copy.
I hear
How's my corner looking?
It's clear from my point of view.
Okay, crossing.
You need blood or something, whatever it was.
Coming in. Okay.
Very shacking on it.
Yeah, I got you. Energy.
Run out.
Alright, Estonia's on me.
Energy.
SOR.
Stitching.
I got individual shots coming from north as well, far.
Moving tourniquet.
Hello?
How's your pain?
They're
by
just
the way?
down the street.
Down the street.
Down the
What's
street
your
to the east.
On the other side of the street, west.
Open top, UAZ.
Okay, good. Shack is up and running. Cadius, what else did you need? Over.
I need you on me. If you can go out to the MSR, there's an open top UAZ. If you come there, you can patch me up.
Copy that. Crossing.
Astonis needs patching also here.
That's over there. Roland. Over there.
Crossing.
Grab that corner. Something is shooting me from there.
Solid copy. Enemy reinforcements coming in and converging from the north towards UAC location. Solid on readback. Over.
Yeah, you'll get her after this.
Cadius, we got reinforcements coming in from the north along the MSR. Get inside and get into positions.
Holy shit.
Got him.
What the fuck?
Injecting morphine. Injecting FA. Move forward, Cadius. Thank you. Which was
Send message all
bandaging
father.
your torso, Baelish. Bandaging your torso, just keep the corner.
Guys on infantry north-northeast. Down the street.
Cadius, this is Piper. We have 2 more
Solid
enemies
copy,
coming from your
All-Father one.
northwestern side. How copy?
All Father 1, interrogative. Do you need 2 enemy squads or 2 individual
They just said
infantrymen?
2 enemies.
How copy?
Copy that. Sorry,
Solid copy on west.
Further information is
All-Father
just 2
1.
individuals.
Viking actual out.
What's your pain like, Baelish?
We got a few boys left in the town.
I already told them, bro.
To get their heads blown up, so let's wrap it up.
Estonia's Ace report. Estonia's medical ace.
Estonius is dead. He's bleeding out over here. Taking on him. He's not responsive.
Checking.
On the other side of your building, Cadius, northwest.
There's a
He's
hot
pushing
break.
into your
Yeah,
building
yeah.
now.
Are you able to assist me, or do you need to cover?
Oh, I can assist you.
Quick clot his torso.
Yeah.
Like an elastic bandage. Keep on bandaging his chest.
I need medical help again.
Cadius, did you check southeast of
He's using a leader
the
assailant.
HVP's location?
A bit wise, I think I got him down.
Yeah, I see.
Check southeast of the high value target's location.
Hit his chest and I'll do his arm.
Really? I got doors all closed on my southeast.
Tell me as soon as it's blue.
I need someone to cover me.
Copy that.
Coming in with the last HPT, I believe.
Location bells?
Do not inject.
Guys, I need someone to cover me. I need medical attention.
Okay, he's all good.
Where are you, Baelish?
On the corner southeast from you, I think.
Injecting morphine, that should bring him up.
And here is this open top car.
Impulse.
A little bit more.
Where is he?
Blood
Excuse me,
pressure.
excuse me.
Be advised.
What about
I
epinephrine?
put the believed HVT
Yeah,
Yeah,
building,
he's,
I'm not
he's
sure.
going to get one.
Take my.
Actually, yeah.
No, take mine.
Bravo, this is
Injecting
Viking 1
epi.
Bravo.
Actually, I don't
Does he need help? Oh, he's
Blood
good.
pressure.
Okay.
We have two people who fit the description. One
Blood
in a
pressure is
business-like suit,
rising,
the other with
stitching.
a brave suit. Look like trackies and
Hey, you're good.
sneakers. Her copy.
I got you. Northwest?
Cam up.
Hey, firm holding one. Caris, Viper.
The fuck?
Send it.
The secondary is not a government official. He's wearing a suit. A burgundy brown suit. Yeah, Viking 1 Bravo, A firm's
Copy that,
lost.
we're pushing out again. Alright, everyone here, on me. We're pushing out again.
Not going to leave Estonia's.
No, you patch him up.
Caris, this is Viper. Your southeast has
careful,
not been checked
Caris,
from
we're
the
be
HVT.
advised
No,
to
we're-
stay with the
Yeah,
wounded.
we're pushing that again.
I'm behind.
We'll send it again.
Closing this door. I'm getting up.
Yeah, he's stable.
Send it again.
Just needs blood transfusion.
Send message. Copy that off, Bart.
Looks clear. Crossing.
Crossing.
Alright, we're gonna push this compound up here to the south.
Yep.
Mills, could you take point because I'm out of ammo in my main.
Do you need ammo? I can give you some.
Just go up here. Yeah. And then into the right here.
Yep. Moving in. Going right. Going left. Taking corner. Building front.
Alright, push it. Let's
Checking
take
windows.
this right building first.
Yep.
Eclipser, grab security on this other building to the left.
Copy.
Opening door. Going in. Going left. Door.
Clear. Push it. Just slightly out of bound, but not all the way out. Okay, push it.
Yep. Going right. Door.
On me, guys.
Wait, I'm bleeding again. Do you hear me? I'm bleeding again.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Willy Wanker, this is Twinks over. Did you guys clear the
Thank you.
buildings northeast while pushing up here
What?
on the
Yep, you're good.
southeastern side? Copy that, a team is tasked clear now.
Okay, I'm
You guys
ready.
good?
No, but I'm ready.
This is Roland. Estonia's is up.
You and me as well.
Copy.
2 seconds, I'm grabbing
This,
the AK.
this motherfucker just revived himself.
What?
Alright,
No,
clear.
it's clear. It's clear. Yeah.
Alright, keep pushing, push down here. Down there towards the northeast and clear
You
with
want
the
to take
Eclipser.
his ammo too, you know?
Yeah, I will grab it.
Okay, going second building.
I'm behind.
Clips on me. Going left. Going right. Checking in. Building is clear.
There's a top floor
Oh,
though,
okay.
but yeah.
Checking windows. Whoa. Going,
I think someone used it.
there is some dead in.
Does it look like in here?
Seems clear so far.
Alright, once you guys get out,
Going
move to the northwestern side.
Building
Alright, come out to the northwestern side.
Alrighty then.
Alright, on me. Be advised,
On you.
Twinks moving northwest to clear northwest now.
Jesus.
Stop that. Did you guys push far?
Well, already checked it.
Yeah, I know.
Why are we here again?
Yeah, what are we looking? Are we still?
Two government
I think
officials.
they will be. No, I mean, I think they will be new buildings. Like.
Further. Wait, there's a UAV here. Maybe this big yellow building here.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
What I think.
Alright, I'll
Crossing.
make it happen.
Make it happen.
Here's the window here. What the fuck kind of terrace is this?
Wait, we already checked it.
Speed-wise, we're breaching a yellow building. You guys are on our south side.
Yeah,
It's
we're
on-
here. We're here.
Okay, you guys have cleared it? Perfect.
Yeah, it's clear. Where the fuck can this be?
Alright, move west. Eclipser, take point. I'll take point.
Alright, you guys on
Okay.
towards the southeast.
Copy that.
Thaddeus, be advised, we're pushing further southeast.
Clear.
Someone grab that door, clear it.
Bonnie, let's go. What a shock.
Copy that.
Why are you so skeptical?
Because we cleared it already.
Yeah, we did clear this one.
You guys cleared this one? As
Yeah.
Yes, don't you see? All doors are open, everybody dead.
Alright.
This amount
Contact
of
from-
bodies.
Okay. Baelish is down.
Contact down.
You good? No.
Speed-wise, took some
Baelish down.
He's
I'm
up
up,
again.
but I need assistance.
I'm bandaging you.
Thank you.
Speed-wise, Twinks in contact, but we should.
He's down.
Yeah,
You
we're
are
taking
welcome.
some kind of fire from the northwest.
Baelish is stable, but he needs stitching.
Elise, how far out are you?
Pretty far out.
Copy that. Could you move, Baelish?
What?
Are you? Do you have the possibility to walk?
Yes, I can walk.
Okay, on me, guys.
I was stitched up by this great man, Eclipser.
Reach and clear this building.
You still need stitching. Though.
Coming back to Baelish. What's your location?
Currently at grid 207067 in a two-story building.
Copy that.
It's a brick building.
Jeez, how much we killed?
I don't know. Let's push towards it. That's
Oh,
that's
an
the shack.
RPG. Can I take an RPG?
You don't need an RPG, my guy.
But I want an RPG.
Oh my god, of course he wants an RPG. He's a goddamn Russian.
I love RPG so much.
Alright.
Wait, isn't it the direction we came from?
Yeah. We didn't check those buildings though.
At this point.
Okay, checking windows. It's
clear. Alright, let's do this building as well.
Kidius, repeat your grid.
Speed-wise, we're currently at grade 206068, the place where we
Building
entered the city from.
Copy that.
Roland wasn't
You need
here
a
when.
mark on the map?
Please do.
Mark here.
second floor left.
Copy that.
Blah blah blah.
Baelish, hold this building. Medic is on their way.
Roger, roger, thank
Eclipse are on me.
Copy. I'm here. What? Are you using an AK?
Supposed to be close to the other fucking guy, but where the other guy is, God knows. Well, we know where the other guy is, so where the hell is this hostage? Right, Claire?
Roland, what's your ETA?
Give me 5 minutes.
Stack up on
Seriously, 5 minutes?
Depending, have we already cleared this out?
Yes.
It's clear.
1 minute then.
Breaching. Left clear.
Right, clear as well.
Copy that. Me and the clips are on it.
We're approaching from your southeast.
He's back there.
Copy that.
Yeah, over there.
That old building, I know exactly which one it is.
I'm gonna run out of stamina, so.
Speed-wise, me and the clips are currently heading towards target location. We're quite sure we know where he is. I'm out of stamina as well.
That's why I lowered my weapon.
You're on Whisper, by the way.
Oh! Thank you.
Alright, on me.
No wonder people didn't hear me.
Oh, this is the guy. Found him. Hostage secured. We're bringing him in.
Copy.
He didn't shoot him. Shot this guy.
Up to Ulfava,
No, he was here all the time. Oh my fucking god.
Claudius, this is Ronan.
Yeah, send it.
Baelish is up and ready to move. Where do you want us over?
I want you guys back at the hostage location.
Second
We
hostage has
have
been
currently
found.
both
No copy.
in hand.
Copy that. Over.
Eclipse to push out. Supposed to grab. Yeah, that's perfect. Go ahead and cross Palenius. I'll be on the other side.
Viking 1 Bravo copies. Cadius, you reading me?
Go ahead and send it. Yeah.
Get your team prepped to move the hostages to RB Bravo. Keep to the east side of town. The northwest apparently had enemies. Basically, go street to street, clear them, and Buldanis and I will take the hostages actually, because I don't trust your fire team to keep them alive.
Thanks.
Beatwise, you want us to move on the east side of the town?
East side of town, east side of town. The enemies are reported northwest. We're moving to RV Bravo, far north.
Beatwise, are we clear to use vehicles for this?
Negative, go on foot.
Stop there. I need a couple of seconds to gather my team.
Alright, fun.
Roland, Village, how far out are you guys?
200 meters, 300.
Copy that. Once you guys get here, we're gonna move on the east side of the town, and then we're gonna move to RV Bravo, while Command is gonna escort the hostages.
Copy that. We'll speed it up.
Just take your time.
Yeah, you're fine.
Alright, where's the people?
We don't have vehicles.
Not using, don't use the vehicle, because we had the RPG guy shooting at the...
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Alright, tell us when you're good to go, kid.
Copy that. Still waiting for the rest of my team to fall in line.
Wrong radio.
Copy that. Waiting for the rest of the team to fall in line. Need a couple more seconds.
Hey, Phil. Get him away from the door before you get shot in the
Approaching from your north.
Or from the window, Jesus fucking Christ.
I shall try. That's our boys to our left.
Hello.
Hello.
Alright. Speedwise, Twinks on the move.
On me, guys.
Command team's falling behind.
It's your boy.
Call information for now.
Copy that. Call information. Thanks for being an awesome escort, Estonius.
Sure. Thanks for keeping me alive.
You're welcome. You help me, I help you.
Are you going to start blackmailing people for your medical assistance?
Yeah, definitely.
Grizzly's currently out of the city, moving in open terrain.
We're behind you. I messaged you on the radio telling you this.
I just wanted to hear your voice.
I know you want to hear my voice, but just make sure you don't get shot.
Cadius, I value us getting into the middle.
Go ahead and send again.
Cadius, can you drop 2 guys to the back of us?
Cop that, sending 2 guys in the back.
Baelish and Shaq are moving in the back. Thank you.
Repeat last, please.
Scratch it. It's already been completed.
Okay.
Speed-wise, infantry shifting direction, direct north.
Alright, AFO.
Copy that.
Kinda weird. Formation? Kinda useless, Cadius. Idiot.
Someone letting Cadius pathfind, because that's a mistake all in itself.
No, I fucking find a way, and I did it, so...
You didn't even follow your own goddamn line.
Mate, the line is just...
Say again?
The line has got good cover, whereas...
It's for Estonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the enemy might see the line.
Cadius, I swear to God, if it's Shaq who picked up the RPG, I will fucking slap him.
Go ahead and send again.
I swear to God, Cadius, if it's Shaq that has picked up the RPG, I will slap him.
Copy that. Tag.
Yeah.
We need to fix it.
I mean, I have to shoot it.
No, you need to put it down.
Cadius, if you collaborate with Shaq, if he has the RPG, you'll be shot in subordination.
Oh shit. Well, seems
that's back for me to do. I can cut up the fence. Oh, fuck, there's a hole there. Fuck.
Disconnect, quick.
I just want some work to do.
So risk versus reward.
Send message, all Father 1.
The risk I took was calculated, but man, am I bad at math.
Yeah.
Solid copy, all Father 1. Break. All Father 1. Viking 1 will set up defenses around the landing zone for Valkyrie. I'll copy.
How can, like, for love of God, 8 magazines be enough? I have no clue.
I use roughly 2, maybe.
Solid copy, Valkyrie will...
I think I shot too many bullets.
3 shots or something on the ranges we've been at today.
It helps if you're not full auto all the time.
Yeah, but I was full auto all the time.
Then don't do that.
But it's too late.
Well, it is late now, yeah.
Viking actual out.
Take it as a lesson for next time then.
Cadius, apparently there's a preset helo pad on LC. Just make your way over there with your team in front and secure the location. I'll copy.
Yeah, copy that. Bitwise, is the area safe or does it need to be clear?
We haven't been here before, but previous recon indicated it was safe.
Copy that.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there's around the helipad, I want a 150 meters around the helipad, just soft clear the buildings, hold every direction. Just call out your spot, and then trace something. Alright, form a circle around it.
Oh, now I can't see anything.
Alright, go ahead and mount up, mount up, mount up.
Command team's in.
Clips is in.
Ronan in.
Is last man in?
Stone is in.
Last man in.
Okay,
All
everyone.
in, all in.
All Father 1, this is like one actual message. All Father 1, be advised. Like in one.
I think Cadis is inside of me.
We are moving.
Yeah, Cadis is actually inside of me. Wow.
Am I?
Yes. Or someone at least.
Is it the guy who's...
No,
Oh, that's not me.
two of you have merged into each other. You probably won't notice it though. As much. It's not Caddius, so it's a leasing check.
I mean, to be fair, the guy dressed in sneakers had good style.
If that's what you call smart, I hate to see what you call casual.
Alright, shot it, come on. I want an ace report on everyone.
Give me an ace report.
Green.
Shot green.
Clips is green. Green.
Stone is green.
Guys, Twinks green.
No, you're green red.
What?
Hyper's green yellow.
Cadis is green red because he lost his gun.
Hold on, is green.
Good point.
Once we touch down, form your team up on the platform, the ceremony platform.
Yes.
Oh, okay, copy that.
English is hard. Back.
Which one? Left.
Copy on that, all Father 1.
Left is clear.
In before we all die in the fireball.
It was good knowing you guys.
Dismount.
Disembark.
change into base here. Go ahead, head towards the barracks.
Copy that. We're on it.
I'm Fordanis' English translator for today. Thank you, I trained all my life for speaking.
Oh, it feels good to get rid of a radio.
Hello,
You've got a lot of people today. If you press F on the thing, you go to Arsenal and go to public loadouts. There should be an on-base loadout.
Jumping in.
Base loadout.
Saying
yes.
like so go platform yourself. I'm like, no wait, what?
You guys are fun.
Go platform
We'll just take your helmet.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's not right.
Keep walking around with just scrawny ass beats and a helmet on.
Once you have the once you have the base equipment,
Can you be my medic?
Once you have the base equipment, go ahead and line up outside that platform thingy.
I'll fix you up.
Copy that, KDS.
Go, Kelly. I don't care about you. I love you, boy. Either way. I recall any left. Okay, perfect.
Hey, Caddies, don't diss my platform thingy.
What do you mean platform thingy? I mean, it's a fine thing. Alright, make it nice. Make it beautiful. Make a beautiful line. Sergeants in front, specialists right behind that. Perfect.
What? No.
Do it by rank. Yeah, do it by rank. Specialists, go behind Shaq. There you go.
Yeah, debrief him first.
Perfect. Recruits behind that again. Behind the specialists.
But we have a private as well.
Yeah, I have no clue what I'm doing right now.
Alright.
Do you ever?
Fucking hell, Caddius. Alright, form up nice and tight. Good.
Take a few steps back so warrant officer and I can actually fit into the formation.
Let's see how they
you messed it up.
here.
Jack, move back a bit.
This needs work.
I mean, it's the
I mean,
hardest
it was
thing in
fine
armor.
originally, and I
That
don't know
is
what
true,
happened.
that is true.
Okay.
Go ahead and push
so we're
back
gonna push
just
up
a
on
little
that
bit.
side of current.
I just
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
he's
yeah.
AFK.
There we go, a bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit closer, Mike.
Right.
You can scooch
Okay,
him a
Baelish
little bit
and Clanky,
closer.
go front. Go forward just a little bit. Fucking go TP. Okay, yes. That's good enough.
There you go. There you go. You can
Okay.
actually hear us now, Mike. It's good.
Alright, good. Alright.
We did it.
Beginning debrief then, guys.
We're gonna.
So, obviously we went over a couple of simple things at the beginning, which was the AT. Caddius, do you just want to, since you took the AT portion of the training, did everyone successfully hit the target?
Depending, I would say no.
Did everyone hit the target at least once?
No.
Okay, those people who didn't, make sure at some point you pick up an AT and do it again. Everyone should hit it. Aside from that, we obviously did the town thing in, what was it? Gravia? Gravia first. That was obviously prepped for the later on in the mission with the cover system, as there was a lot of ambush points for the enemies. I feel like you guys handled that really well. You took the training on board, and I feel like you kind of grasped what I meant when I was saying that this training is, you know, very specific use, but you'll find yourselves using it more in a much more smooth manner. What I saw from in the sky, obviously in Zeus, of you guys in the town, was you used a lot of concepts that I taught during that training exercise in Gravia. Even if it was subconsciously using it, you used it. And it was very effective because you were able to speed it up and make it really smooth, which was great to see. Of course, there's always bugs that need to be ironed out with it, but, you know, you took the theory into practice very, very well, in my opinion. As I said, even if you didn't feel like you were doing it yourselves, that's what was visible, so good job on that. I'm pretty happy with how you handled that objective. I mean, it took a little bit of time to find the second hostage, but that's possibly because he was hidden very tightly in the corner.
I swear, just, you know, I'm reaching for my hand right now.
Okay.
But I literally saw the guy. I shot the guy who was actually, you know, blocking the view from him.
Yeah,
so he
I
was
saw.
laying on the ground behind the actual corpse.
But the hostage.
Yes.
The hostage
So
couldn't lay down.
What? He didn't?
No.
No, 'cause he's handcuffed.
cuffed.
Oh,
he was
okay, so he was
stood the whole time.
basically okay. He wasn't. The,
He was
okay.
very much. He was very tightly in the corner, though. You would have had
Yeah.
to go in to see him.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I did glance through the window, but I actually didn't saw him. Okay, so that's that's
well,
my,
I purposely hid them
my
so you
fault.
couldn't see them through like that.
Yes, that is my fault.
Anyway.
We spent 15 minutes searching for nothing.
Well, lesson, from that is that if you do have a search mission, make sure you
Mark the
actually
buildings.
enter and search and mark the buildings once you've fully entered. Either way, though, aside from that, I feel like the FTX went incredibly well. So I believe Paldania says CO, Piper is EXO, and Cadius was fireteam leading. Did you want to add anything to that debrief? About the FTX mostly?
I can say just one thing that a lot of the movement I saw was good. A lot of crossfire moments could have been better, but in general that comes with training and practice. And wouldn't you agree, Captain?
Absolutely, I'd agree. After delivering the training that you had today and then seeing you in the field today, it was exponentially better than previously seeing you guys, your cover and movement and your sectors. But as you said, and as I said earlier, there's always room for improvement, and there is still a lot of improvement to do. But a big step has been taken today, I feel. Okay, did you want to hand over to your EXO then, Paldanius, if he had anything?
Yes, Warrant Officer.
Yeah, kind of imitating the same thing that Paldanius said, where I think people, although this is now fresh in their mind, people would like start doing it in the field, but stuff we taught previously as well. Like, people are much better at telling others when they're crossing fire, and they're better at formations. People are getting better at, like, marking maps. Things we taught previously have obviously stuck, and, like, are getting better. I was also happy to be Paldanius' English translator for today as well, and giving messages to and from Paldanius to Cadius to make sure they got fully through.
Okay.
Did the inner Finn come through?
Yeah, in my defense, I am 4 glasses of wine down right now, so...
Oh, God.
It's only Monday.
Did you want to,
True
Did you
thing.
want to hand over to your FTs?
I could hand over to Cadius, but...
Fuck
yeah,
it, it's
sure.
only Cadius.
I mean, it's Cadius, right? Like, what's he gonna say?
Yeah, come on, it's late already. Get on with it, Cadius.
I ain't got nothing to add.
Oh, okay, that was easy.
Nice.
In that case, then, Sword, did you have anything you wanted to bring to debrief?
I actually have a couple of things. Smaller, but a couple.
Make sure you're on yelling, by the way, Mike.
Am I not?
I can hear you.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm on yelling
just
now.
want to make sure.
Small if something, but something. You're very bad at chatter today, especially on takeoff and landing. I'm fine with it when I'm in air, but when landing and takeoff, that's the most stressful parts, and I would like to be able to communicate with my co-pilot at that point, because your chatter goes straight up into the front room. You didn't point out to me that smoke was gonna be on LC. I mean, that's just a thing. And lastly, I don't know how you guys were doing your cover of the LC I had today, but everybody was basically on my right side and no one was on my left. What I mean by that is so many people crossed my flight line, I had to stop midair to not nail some of you to the ground. Which I don't want to be airborne like that, hanging waiting for you guys so I don't catch you with my back wheel.
They pretty much arrived the exact same time as you did, so it would have been considered like a sort of a fast evac, which we haven't really trained on yet, so we'll get to it, but I wouldn't really hold too much against them for that.
No,
because
it's nothing,
an
it's
untrained
just
thing.
to mention it. It's
Yeah,
basically
it's fine,
just
it's
to
fine.
mention that if anything happens like that again, I would appreciate either half you covering my right and my left, because my left was completely uncovered anyways.
Yeah, Mike, just to add that we are not in full capability right now.
Okay. No, it was,
the problem is that we can't really do what we would do as an ODA or if we were a full complete fire team, since the positions and everything are a bit sporadic. That is why a lot of the mishaps happened as they would. And regarding the chatter, indeed, that is supposed to be.
Checks.
Yeah, that was just a joke that really got out of hand, and that's about it. Nothing more.
That was the end one.
It's really nothing. It's more for further thought, like in the future.
Additional information about the security around your chopper. On the left side, there was currently a brick wall.
Yeah.
And we came from the exact same direction. So, for us, the direction was safe, but it would have been good to tell you.
Communication is key, folks.
Alright, if nothing more then, I'll hand over to Thornwood. Last thing from me is, I think, for the most part, besides a little bit of chatter and stuff like that, really, really well done today, guys. The improvement seemed really, really high, and during the FTX and the training, you guys performed really well. So, well done from me today. Good job. Alright, over to you, Thornwood.
Alright, very well. We did phase 1 today with Kalenki and myself and recruit Goering in the back. Which went... Is recruit Goering still here, by the way?
He is.
Yeah, I am indeed. Ah, you're all the way in the back. Your name tag is like sort of... Okay, cool. Very well. Welcome. Which went better than I honestly expected. With that in mind, I will go over some of the changes that are going to be happening within the ranks of the people in front of me, as there are some promotions to go through. Firstly, I would like to call forward recruit Goering. Step forward, please. I want to congratulate you as the very first that successfully passed our current form of Phase 1, and you are therefore awarded the rank of Private. Congratulations. You are tasked as a member of ODA 4111. I will reflect that in all available channels a little bit later, but congratulations and welcome to the 14th Aerosol Group.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, now you've got to deal with Haldanius, so good luck.
Do we have Pearson with us tonight?
Negative.
Alright, well, that goes with that then. I want to call forward Warrant Officer A. Piper.
Oh, it's your boy.
Yeah, it is the boy. On successfully passing the, well, quote-unquote tryout/test period of leadership of the XO position of ODA 4111, I hereby successfully and proudly promote you to Second Lieutenant. Tasked continuously with the XO ship of ODA 4111. Congratulations.
Honored to do so. I hope to lead everyone to not super death and just maybe minor death at best.
It's black here.
A little die.
That's the best speech I've ever heard.
Second Lieutenant T. Mike.
What's T. Mike?
It's T-Dog.
On successful passing of your trial/test out period of CO of our 160th SOAR detachment, I hereby award you with the rank of First Lieutenant. I hope you continue to excel in your current role as you have had so far, and I hope to see a lot more of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we can be safe in the air.
I only promise major death to all SOAR members. Calling it.
Yay.
Alright. Thank you all for attending the first home rotation since our first campaign. For Saturday, we'll likely do a similar FTX kind of scenario where we'll just go in and practice something that is useful to learn and something to keep up with. Likely putting in some AT practice. Looking at you all. Yay. So if you have time this week, hop on the training server and pop some rounds on some targets. Hit me up if you want, or the captain, or Mike, as we all have access to Zeus slots, or Piper, and I think Eclipser can also help you out with that if required. They can put down some targets for you, so you can actually fire some rounds at them. As if it is true that almost none of you actually hit a target, then currently Private Goering over there is the most accomplished AT man in this group right now.
I wonder where well he's gonna get.
I mean, I did hit my target.
I think I misunderstood here, Major. Some people did hit.
Oh, some people did hit. Alright, so the way you explained it, it was a maybe.
It just sounded like you fucking skipped the whole thing, to be honest.
Pretty much, yeah.
I do have a secondary thing that I need Eclipse with me to come up for as well.
Alright.
What?
Eclipse to come up on this goddamn stadium because we need to fucking put it down. You motherfuckers who haven't done it already, remove SMA from your goddamn office because every time I see invisible guns in your hands, I will literally shoot you myself and then.
Also loading in
all
IRs.
this work and information. He puts information. No one reads it. 2 weeks in a row. Goddamn, get rid of SMA or I'm gonna shoot myself. There you go. That's all I have to say.
Well, and Eclipse, you need to be up there for
It's mental.
Alright, hey guys, I have an announcement
seriously
to
though,
make.
there is an information board that I keep updated with mod information. I even remove the everyone message and replace it with a new one every time something does change. If you do notice something changes there and you see that nice bright red 1 appear in front of that channel, do read it and do memorize what you need to do in order to have it done. Yes, Paulanius?
I do have an announcement to make.
He's pregnant.
Yes. No. With an
Right, come
idea. To emphasize on what Piper just said is that if somebody, and I mean anyone, even if myself, are actually stumbling onto the server without updating the mod pack, they are going to be shot and told not to come on the server until it is actually fixed. That's all.
One small quick update. Please do take off as the SMA and RHS compatibility files as well.
They're already gone, I'm pretty sure at this point.
No, you know what people do.
Does anybody else
want to chip
When
in
they
about
part
the
of
mod
our...
pack?
Yeah, does anybody else want to bitch
Yeah,
about
but
something?
I got rid of them though.
No?
Yeah.
House prices are way too high.
Alright, yeah. These damn house prices are way too damn high. Anyway, I thank you all for coming this week. I hope you attend on Saturday where we'll go over some actual AT stuff. Quick scenario where I'm gonna put down some light AT in the AO for you guys to take out, so do keep that in mind. Some actual combat practice with that will come in handy, as well as actually the urban stuff you did tonight. So if you can attend, please do. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday on the second week of home rotation, where, with a bit of luck, we'll go over some Halo jumping procedures. Alright, thank you for coming, and all dismissed.
Major, can I borrow you real fast?
You can borrow me in like 5 minutes after I grab something to do.
Can I say something before everybody jump off?
No, he's already dead. You missed him down. Opportunity's gone. You've already been dismissed.
Yeah.